What? Sorry, just saying my good mornings or my good evenings. I come in the door, and he seems to be. He was misbehaving for Mama, but as soon as he gets on here, he wants to climb in underneath. Watch. As soon as you do this, watch this. He wants to. Don't you? Don't you? This is the baby. This is Diesel. And all he wants to do is just nuzzle the beard. Just nuzzle it. Just right? He just wants to. Not exactly how you guys wanted to open the show, eh? Well, hey, oh, hey, be nice, be nice. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Attaboy. Mwah. Hey, attaboy. You can cuddle in. Problem is, it makes it awful hard to do the show. You talk into the mic. Go on, talk into the mic. What is? You gonna go? You gonna go? Let's just put you down here for a minute. So, now that my beard is all out of place, and my cat has made a mess, and da-da-da-da-da. How the hell are we doing tonight, guys? I actually just came in the door. I just came in the door about 45 minutes ago. I was running around. Like, my face is all red too. I don't know what's going on. I don't put my ass in your face. I was running around Montreal. I actually got home yesterday. Was able to park it for the night, and then was able to take off this morning from the house here, run into Montreal, do my delivery in Montreal, and bring it on back and get a reload it, and bring it back home here. And I don't have to bugger off till I can bugger off on Monday with it. On Sunday with it. I'm going out to Michigan. So I don't know. The cat's just decided that he's going to sit there and look at the clock on the wall, whatever, for whatever reason. I don't have a clue why. Oh, that got your attention, didn't it? You're not getting any of this. No. Hey, listen, fucker. Do I bother you while you're drinking and eating? Do I bother you when you're live? Hey? I guess not. So, actually, I'm not even prepared for anything. Not prepared for anything. I've got absolutely jack shit prepared. I've got nothing going on. The comments are going. My mouse ain't working. There we go. You guys are already killing it in the comments. You need to go. Go on. Scram, Sam. Anyway, so I'm home. I don't have to go anywhere till Sunday. So I've actually got home yesterday, spent a day at home yesterday, went to Montreal, which is only 4 hours, boogied around Montreal, got to play in the land of en français, and then got back here tonight. So, and with that, let's just see who we got kicking around. And then as you can see, we got a title. So, you know what? If you guys got an opinion, or if you've got something you want to get off your chest, anybody wants to blow some smoke, anybody wants to lay out some really good BS, tonight's the night to do it. So Chaos is here. Houdini's here. Thanks, man. Hit that like, Houdini. Thank you, man. Chaos. Chaos, you crazy man. What's up? I think you two were farting around in the comments before the live even started. Big John's in the house. How we doing there, guard dog? My friend. Actually, I got your text message. Sorry, I don't want to think I'm being rude. I did get your text message. It was one of those, the message came in. I saw it. Something happened. Oh, okay. Then over here. And I meant to get back. I went back and looked at your message probably 26 times. And then each time it just, so I'll text you. Actually, you know what, John? I'll even do better than that. I'll call you on Monday. I don't know if you're going to be rolling Sunday. I'll call you on. I'll be rolling Sunday morning. So, but if you're rolling, I'll give you a call Sunday or Monday, whatever. We can catch up that way. Dar probably gave up on waiting for him and went and took a nap. No, that's Fate Trucking. Fate Trucking is the only one around here that, I swear to God, he's the only kid I know that can cover 600 miles in a day and get 3 naps in. I don't know how he does it, but he does. I just thought James was going to leave it up. Saw that. I thought James. Well, I don't know what James. Oh yeah, I saw part of it, but just for you, John, I'm going to be real late. Yeah, that's me talking to John. Give me 4 more minutes. Yeah, actually, Dar's actually got some food cooking for me, so I'm going to actually attempt to eat before the cats can get at it. So, okay, make sure to bring some food. Was going to see what was made. We want Sage is walking around. What is the Canadian exchange rate on time? That's awful hard to judge there, Sage. I think we're at 30 on the dollar. We're 30%. So my Canadian dollar or your US dollar is worth $1.30 to me. Now I didn't check it this morning, but I think we're $1.30 on time. I think on that case there, bro, I think we're just about on par. I can't give you an exchange rate on that. So if you feel that you've been ripped off and you've lost some time waiting for me, you know what? The complaint department is right down here. See that where it says post a comment? You can put your complaint in there and I'll make sure the appropriate people get it. And from there, we can take care of any problems. 10 minutes for 1 US minute. Let's not get carried away, Houdini. Pretty much. Yeah. Well, this ain't really fair because as it turns out, I'm probably one of the only Canadians in here. Most of you guys are all Americans. On my own show, I'm outnumbered. So yeah, there's the tiger. Yeah, he's actually. I got to keep an eye on him because he's the sneaky one that likes to jump up the back of the chair, and then he's halfway up the back of the chair. He'll grab his claws and he'll go right into your back and climb up your shirt, and he'll use his. Oh, he's absolutely ruthless. Absolutely ruthless. He is. Oy vey. Thanks, Eric. Oy vey. The Slickness DM. Greta name for Purdy Katie. Hey, man. It's the one animal in the house that I was allowed to name. Out of all the dogs and all the cats and out of all the freaking everything else that's ever come in and out of the house, I've never named any of them. Either the kids have named them or Dar named them, but this one here, and it was this was part of the stipulations, as some of you already know, this was part of the stipulations that she wanted one more Devon Rex cat, and part of the stipulation for me to do it, to go, yeah, okay, one more, thank you, baby, one more Devon Rex cat was I get to pick it. She gave me a choice, right? I got to pick it, and I got to name it. So I got to pick that little cute bastard, and I got to name him Diesel. So, hey, you know what? That's all good. Basmatic's in the house. Walked in the door. What's going on? Red Hawk just kicked it open. I have an opinion, yeah, but yours doesn't count. Yours doesn't count, Red Hawk. And when we want your opinion, we'll just give it to you. So don't worry about it. Just just stay over there. You know what? Don't worry about it. You know what? Here, Sage is over there too. Go talk to Sage. Tell him your opinion. Let him come and ask. No, I see how he got his subs, kitty cat videos. Yeah, well, you know what? I ain't buying them. That's all I'm going to say about that. I ain't buying them. God. Yeah, John, she's walking around. Actually, she just brought me my dinner here. Sergeant Ringo, what's going down? Well, hopefully we're going to have some, she's done me some pierogies here. So hopefully we're going to eat some pierogies. She's got jalapeno and cheese. I don't know if you guys are big pierogi eaters. But we got a couple of country places up here that really make them up good. And these are really good. These are the jalapeno and cheese. There's the regular potato and cheese, bacon, and oh, Jesus. Basically, these are like a heart attack. Thank God I'm already on cholesterol meds because it wouldn't be good if I was eating these regular. So when's the next convoy? I don't know. The slickness. I'm just going to call you Slickness, all right? Slickness, I don't know when it's going to be. Although I would not be surprised that any day we hear something in the works or something comes down the pipe. Be honest with you, I will be there for the next one though. If they were to raise the flag right now and say, "All right, bop, bop, let's go," I'm in, and so should all of you guys. Even if you can't get it done in the States, get your asses up here, man. You guys should be here. DD15, what's good, Brian? I got your DM regarding KBD. Thanks for the info. I'll DM you for more info. And of course, you're going to be on referral. You know what? 15, put me on or don't put me on. It makes no difference to me. I appreciate it if you do, but you know, if that's not your gig, and don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's all good, man. Jersey Trucker, hi Dar. Hey, you did that on purpose. Jersey, you did that on purpose. Saying hi to Dar first, eh? Yeah. Shoo. Who's that? Shorts is in the house. What's going down, Shorts? You've been a busy boy this week, sunshine. Mr. Beast from North Carolina. How the hell are you, sir? We are doing well here. So have I been talking to an Instagram Dar? No. Dar reads it to me. All right. In all fairness to me, I don't even have Instagram on my phone. I have TikTok on my phone, but anything that gets put up there, I do it, send it to Dar. She puts it up. And if you guys comment, she'll call me. Or if it's like sometimes obviously with the comments in here, when we do a video and you guys do your comments, I will read and reply to those. But a lot of the time it is Dar, but it is me. Boomer just kicked in the door. How you doing, Boomer? Glad you're here. Good to see you. Yes, Chaos. Okay, so she knows. We're getting 2 Maine Coons in 2 weeks. Dude, you are going to have a handful, Sage. I promise you were going to have a handful. Although they are gorgeous. We actually, sorry guys, I don't mean to be rude, but you know what? I worked my ass off today and I haven't had time to eat anything. So we actually have, hold on, Madison. It's a Mancoon we have running around wild out here, right? That's causing all the problems.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is.
What kind of problems?
Well, it's the one that's like picking.
No.
Hey?
No, it's not.
No? Okay, never mind. Thanks, baby.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got a cat running around our property, not just our property, but basically it's running from property to property, pissing all over the place. It's somebody's cat. I don't know whose it is, but you know, you walk out your front door and your porch, it's a beautiful day, and that cat has been out there all night pissing all over your porch. It just stinks. So Dar's actually got a couple of cat traps. We're gonna try to trap it this weekend and either take it down to the pound or relocate it. Well, that was what I'm trying to say, relocate it. So hi Brian and Dar and chat. Karen's in the house. Thanks for stopping in, Karen. Appreciate it. No Bud Light. No, we don't do Bud Light in this house. I don't even drink beer. I don't even drink alcohol. So there's no Bud Light anyway, even if I did. We're brisking it tonight. Oh, God damn it. That's so good. You know when you've got a thirst going? That was it. What kind, Sage? Somebody wants to know probably what kind of Mancoons. Diesel needs some nitro. You know what? That would be really cool. That would be really cool to have another. Oh, now you're making me think about it, eh? Because if I told Dar right now, oh yeah, we can get another one, she'd call the breeder like that. She literally would call I wouldn't even have the last word out of my mouth, and she'd be calling the breeder. But that'd be awesome, actually, to have nitro, diesel, and maybe turbo. Not bad. Have a nice little threesome of cats. You guys really got to try these. They're so good. Come on, Dad. Let me get the sugar. Maine Coons. This is now a comedy cat show. Well, you know what? If the cat can carry the show, he can sit. He's welcome to sit here. I'll bugger off for a while. Yeah, they are large cats. They are rather large cats. What are you seeing there, baby? What are you seeing? Hey, come here. Let's go. What's the matter? I think we've got a storm coming up, and we might actually have some thunder. And she's got a little bit of an anxiety problem with thunder. So if we start getting any kind of, and that's, we know there's a storm hours before it gets here, because she starts acting squirrely. Like she's going around the whole house, going from window to window to window in all the rooms, and basically checking it out. So we kind of know that there's probably something coming down the pipe. Excuse me. Sage of Cyanide and Neo. Neo's in the house. What's going on? I'm jealous, Sage. I love Maine Coons. Yeah, well, Dar would take one. Although I don't know if there's any more room on the bed for a cat that big, because we've got those two cats, plus we've got the house cat, plus we got two dogs, and maybe two days a week, me. And I think at some point she's going to turf me and make room for another cat. So I got no place till June 5th. What do you mean you got no place? What'd you do? You didn't burn your place down, did you? We have one now. Well, Dar loves them. They're borderline, almost like mountain lions. I like the Russian breeds. You said breeds, but I know what you mean, John. Or Chaos, sorry. I like the Russian breeds of Maine Coon. Awesome, NP, man. Larry June's walking in. How's it going, Larry? Hope things are well with you. It's been a quiet week. Well, at least on my end, it's been a quiet week. I really didn't. I didn't do a whole lot of vlogging, and I didn't do a whole lot of anything. I worked, literally worked my ass off this week. I was on flatbed this week, so I'm a little sore. I pulled out just about 3,000 miles, but it was a lot of chaining. Everything this week was chaining, so it was all chains and binders, no straps. So just a little stiff, but it was a good week. This was a good money week. We did really well this week. 2,966 miles. So that for us pays us really, really well. So we're happy. And the price of fuel is obviously down, as you guys know. Fuel's way down. Fate naps. Yeah, Boomer, he does. I don't know if you've ever noticed. He's always napping. Question: are we allowed to talk? I don't want to get in trouble with Toto the PM. You can say, Mr. Bees, you say whatever you want. Fate has a Mac, so he has mysterious ways. Yeah, he put out a video today. He's still going to keep the Mac, but it looks like he got the call back on the international, and it turns out that all of this, possibly, I don't know, I didn't hear the end result. He was going to find out probably later today, maybe tomorrow, but the end result was they put two, I don't know what they were, like the stoppers or something, but they put them in backwards and upside down, which was causing his entire problem, and nobody caught it until somebody caught it either today or yesterday. So this poor bastard, he's out like what he's probably out $8,000-9,000 so far for a mistake that was made from the very first shop when he first hit the curb. So the poor guy is like, he's a little pissed, and I don't blame him. I'd be absolutely furious. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for something that did not have to happen. I think Neo's just going through letters of the alphabet randomly here. GW, I'm delayed on my trip. Can't leave till Monday now. That's all right. I called Canada Customs, let them know you're coming, so you ain't fucking going anywhere anyway. We are the smart ones in the USA. I think that's debatable. Hurt feeling reports will be filed properly straight in the trash. You exactly, yeah, exactly. Hey, if I piss you off or I hurt your feelings, sorry, not really. Helen Wade is the new complaints manager for Wheelburners Farms. Have a problem? Go to Helen Wade. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Go to. You know what? I heard that before. My grandfather used to say that years and years ago. There you go, son. You go to Helen Wade. Well, who's Helen Wade? Just go to Helen Wade, son. Just go to Helen Wade. There we go. I'm half Canadian. I'm there half the time. Which half of you is Canadian? That's a hard question. To whom it may concern in the complaint department, I am writing this letter to post my whatever. Dar, did you put X-Lax in the food? No, you can't put X-Lax in pierogies, John. Although if she could do it, she probably would. She wasn't happy with me earlier. I was being an asshole, but she loves me. So, what up, my favorite Canadian? I've been dealing with a NOx sensor issue since November last year. Had it replaced at that time. Now it random flips the code. Donnie, I hate to tell you, but you know what? On 14, 15, 16, 17, and it doesn't seem to matter whether it's Detroit, Volvo, Cummins. Those 4 years for NOx sensors and DPF issues are off the charts stupid. I had a 14 Volvo, which I bought new, and I put in 7 years, I put six sets of injectors into it. Thank God, warranty. But I replaced the inlet and outlet NOx sensor. Probably, I lost, honest to God, Don, I lost track probably after the third set of doing it 3 times. The inlet and outlet NOx sensors were constantly problem. And what was it? The turbo pressure sensor and the EGR differential pressure sensor. All 4 of those or 5 of those sensors for the 12 or 13, 14, 15, 16 model years, didn't seem to matter what it was, were a bitch. They really were. So if you're having problems, brother, I hear you. Sorry. Wheelburner Dar and Chad, good afternoon. And Red Hawk. Well, Mr. Misunderstood, it's nice that you threw Red Hawk in there. I'm sure he appreciates that. You know, he's the kind of cool like that. In his mind, he's a big deal, right? In his mind, he's a big deal. So, The video was posted to start at a set time, which it did not start. I would like to be reimbursed full price. You know what? Just put your email down here. I'll make sure that your time is well reimbursed. No problem. I'm telling you. You Americans would squeeze anybody for a penny, wouldn't you? If you thought you could squeeze $10 out of me for wasting your time, you'd actually try it. Every time I'm en route to the shop, the error goes away, and then I say I can't diagnose it without it being active. You know what, Donnie? I used to do it. I did it with the Volvo. I did it with the other Cascadia that wasn't mine, but that I wasn't driving, that Mike was driving. The same with the Mac. Every time that check engine light would come on and the list of codes would come up, I'd film it. I'd film it because sure as shit, as soon as I would get it to the shop, or what you don't do is when you get it to the shop, do not turn it off. If the code is still, if the check engine light is still on, don't turn it off, because it always happened to me. I'd turn the damn thing off, and then the guy'd come out with the computer, he'd plug it in, turn the truck, nothing. Most of the time, though, they store the codes. So if you get it into a shop that's got like the proper diagnostic tool, they should be able to pull up stored codes. Anything that's a serious code will get stored away. It'll show, this happened. It's an incident, right? So this incident happened at the one incident for this long, for this amount of time, at this time, and then it went inactive, right? So blah, 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 blah. But they store the code, so you should be able to get them. Dar saying hi to Mr. Misunderstood. Shorts is oh my in it. Oh me, oh my. Logic. Did you hear Rebel News is banned from all liberal press conferences because they are linked to white supremacist group? You can't make this shit up. I didn't hear that, but I'm not going to believe it. I'm just not. Somebody tell me how they're linked. How they're linked? What? Some white supremacist left a comment in one of their comments? Come on. Come on. Give me a break. With all the lives I've done, at some point or another, some white supremacist has made a comment in one of my lives or in one set of my comments. Does that mean now that I'm linked to a white supremacist group? Get over it. I won't believe that. Well, what the hell, Basmatic? That's crazy. Yeah, I agree. 7:08 p.m. Well, I'm getting. It sounds like I'm getting timed here. Banana. I got the banana hammock hat on. What's going on there, Big Mike? Big Mikey's in the house. No more cats. Vet bills and food is costly. Yeah, no shit. No shit. Karen Manthorm, you are right. In the right place for funny. Yeah. What's going on, Bull? Just modeling it for you. Still waiting on, you know whose. I won't say any whose other hats I'm waiting for. Well, I don't need to say it, but still wearing Bulls. I think this chat will be good for me tonight. Well, you got something to say? Spit it out. They can be about the size of a shepherd. What the hell are you talking about? You still talking about Mancoon cats? Hello, mother burners. What's going on, Patrick? How the hell are you, man? Hold on, I got an itch. CBD for all for dogs works wonders for Star. You know what, guard dog, it doesn't work for her. We've gone that route for her. Her anxiety is so bad, like so bad. Unfortunately, she suffers anxiety, like separation anxiety anyway. Like even without the storms, this is a dog that suffers from anxiety because we rescued her from a Mennonite family. They had a litter, and at I don't know how old they were. What were they? They're like 4 months old or something like that. No, not 4 months old. They were way too young. And the guy said, either take them or I'm going to destroy them. And we couldn't see that. We couldn't let that happen. So we took, and they were way too young to be separated from their mother. And now she has anxiety issues. She has separation anxiety issues. She's got storm anxiety issues. She's got all sorts of anxiety issues. But it's mostly because as a baby puppy, she was taken from her mom way too soon, way too early. So CBD does not work. I mean, like, I'm not going to sit here and say that I haven't thought about taking her out to the garage and having the kids hotbox her. I thought about it, but that's not really fair to the dog. But we've done CBD. We've done what's that other oil we do? We do another type of oil to try to calm her down, and it does. And she's a 75-pound dog or an 80-pound dog, so you know you got to really pump the shit into her. I have a couple of clients that own Maine Coons. What the F? Me for chaos? What a rib. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. I'm actually just jumping. Hold on. I just saw Curtis. Curtis stuck his head in. My opinion, fuck Ukraine. Stop sending the money to them. The most militarized country in Europe is Ukraine currently. They brought the war to themselves. Fuck Ukraine. I don't know what you're trying to say, Curtis. I don't know if I'm not sure what you're saying here. You know what? You might have to clarify. USA isn't the smart. Oh, fuck. Okay, now we're in a war. USA isn't the smart ones. They sent more money to Ukraine than you can shake a stick at. Well, dude, I can shake a stick at a lot of money. My other opinion, fuck Quebec. I'm on with that one. I really am. I really am. I was born in Buffalo and play hockey at junior B level. Does that qualify me to be Canadian? Well, if you order your coffee double from Tim Hortons, Sage, yeah, we'll give you a passport. If you come over and drink Tim Hortons coffee, no problem. We'll give you the passport. Come on in. Yeah. You were born in Buffalo. Well, I don't know if I'd have admitted that. I don't know if I'd have admitted that I was born in Buffalo. Being somebody like I was born in Toronto, right? And born and raised in Toronto, but because Fort Erie and Buffalo were the nearest border, we did a lot of partying in Buffalo. Well, if you're from Buffalo and if you were born there and if you spent any amount of time there, there's a couple of clubs that I don't know how old you are, but I'm going back days now, but there was some really good biker bars and biker clubs in Buffalo back in the day, back in the late 80s, early 90s. And, we enjoyed ourselves in Buffalo. The running joke in Toronto was if you were standing at Lakeshore Boulevard in Toronto, and from there where the CN Tower is, if you look directly right across the lake, there's Buffalo. And if you're having trouble finding it, the running joke was, well, you don't have to look very hard. Just look for something that's on fire. That's Buffalo. At any given time, you guys are burning your city down. So. Good bars though. Club. What the hell was the name of that one? Club Exit. Club Exit. Thursday nights was Drink and Drown. You pay $10 at the door, and they give you a solo cup, and it's just the rest of the night you drink for free. You drink. You pay your $10. They give you this stupid band, and you go in there. And we used to just go in there. And tear it up, absolutely tear it up. But you got to remember, it is Buffalo. So, you've pretty much got to have, even in July, you got to have a snowplow on the front of your motorcycle. Sage, that qualifies you as a wannabe Canadian. A wannabe. Well, I'd let him in. You know what? I'd let him in. I like Sage, so I'd let him in, but I'm kind of sticky on the Tim Hortons thing. So as long as you can get around the Tim Hortons thing, and maybe once in a while at the end of your sentence, you throw in an A. So yeah, I'm going to go down and get myself a double A. If you can do that, I'll give it to you, bro. I'll give it to you. No problem. 8 hours and counting, getting loaded in Memphis. Glad you're streaming to keep me sane. Dude, I am sorry to hear that. I got screwed in Montreal. I truly did. I was so freaking mad today. I actually made a video, but I was trying not to be mad in the video because I delivered to Montreal this morning, and I was in a section of Montreal called Laval. And this place I was very... they're very staunch, okay, Quebecois, and they won't speak English to you, okay? A lot of places in Montreal, they will. As long as you make an effort to try to maybe, they'll bounce back and forth and they'll help you out. But this place and a couple other places, no English whatsoever. Now, I don't care because I've been there 100 times. So I know the gig. You roll in and they kind of move you where they want you, and then you do the paperwork and all the shit, and it's all good. But what I don't like is because I have Ontario plates, license plates, so they can see I'm out of province, right? I'm not Quebec. So I'm in place. The guy starts unloading me. A French guy rolls in. They drop me. Go do him. 40 minutes later, right? They do him. He comes back, and while this guy's getting loaded and whatever like that, another guy rolls in behind him, another Frenchman. Right, rolls in behind him, and I'm just sitting there thinking, okay, this is going to be a long freaking day. This is, for me, this is a 20-minute offload. It's bricks, guys. Anybody that knows flatbedding and that's done bricks, 20 minutes, done, out. Campbell, you know where I'm talking about. It's on Monte-Masson in Laval, Montreal. Well, Montreal Brick. Dicks. But anyway, so it's a 20-minute offload. Next thing you know, it's going on like, okay, so he loads the first guy, comes back, takes 4 more cubes off of my trailer, and then goes and does that guy. So now I'm starting to say some pretty unspiritual things, right? Which is not like me. I usually I'm very calm, well demeanored. I don't swear. I don't cuss. I don't threaten anybody. At least I do my best. I try. But yeah, same thing. I was in Montreal, and there's nothing you can do because quite literally, I'll be honest with you, if I was to say to the guy, the operator, if I was to say to him, hey, like, this isn't right, like, you could at least, off the, as soon as I opened my mouth, I guarantee you he'd leave me sitting there for another 2 hours just to spite me. So there's no sense in saying anything. You just shut your mouth. And so a 20-minute offload turned into 2 hours, and I think it was 2 hours and 15 minutes I was in there, which then put me behind, right? It was like, son of a bitch. Now, that's no 8 hours, man. Sorry to hear about yours. I was just trying to identify with you. Didn't work. Yours is still worse than mine. I'm sure you're not feeling any better. But hey, you know what? We've all sat around for 8 hours. Video is hard to disregard. Yes, I need Summers, and it's going to cost me a fortune. It's not going to cost you a fortune. Really, it's not. What up, old timer? You're not talking to me. Oh, I know you're not talking to me. No, I know old timers here. Invader, Cummins claimed they can't diagnose it without being active. All the codes are stored, though. I can see the inactive ones through my ELD. Getting my valve adjusted by Cummins, and we'll ask again. Smart, Donnie. That's smart. People don't realize that. And guys, if you don't realize that, if you've got a check engine light that comes on and you can't get the code, if you call your office or whoever's running through your ELD, they can go into the service part of the ELD. I think it's the service, or there's an area, and you can go in there, and if a check engine light comes on the truck, the ELD records it as well, and it will give you the codes. I've done it many times, many times. It's nice to have that option. So yeah, good idea, Don. It's weird that I'm white, but I haven't run into one single white supremacist group in my entire lifetime. Basmatic, you know what? That's funny. That's funny. I've run into some, I can't say that white supremacist group, but I have run into some people that were hardcore white supremacists. Very staunch, very white supremacist. But not so much a group like a gang or KKK or anything like that. I've never had dealings like that. But actually kind of funny because my mom has four sisters. A couple of them married black guys, so I've got like black cousins. There's black people running around my family all over the place. So there's no prejudices here. We've had, it's been normal since we were kids to have, that's my black cousin Jessica, but that's not how we introduce her. That's just that's my cousin Jessica, right? So funny when you think about shit like that. And it's funny when you think about, it doesn't matter whether you're in Canada or the US, it's still everywhere. It's still there. You got to wonder. Prejudices from back in the 50s, so that would have been my parents, right? Sorry. My mom and dad are in their 70s now. So yeah, so back in the 50s, prejudices were bred, like they were bred right into you, right? Your parents passed on morals, standards. They gave you love, they gave you affection, and they gave you your prejudices. You went out the door and you're like, you are not to go play with that little N girl or N boy down the street ever again. And that's the way it was. And then, they kind of dissipated, I guess, through the 60s, 70s because of, in the 60s, everybody was so goddamn stoned. So it didn't matter what color you were. You looked like a fucking rainbow anyway, with the amount of weed and ecstasy you were taking. I was born at the end of the 60s, so that explains a lot of, I can ask my mother what she was taking when I was conceived. I'm not 100% sure about that. But again, the prejudices are off the charts. And then you look at it as it goes now. Now I have my prejudices, but I've never passed them on to my children. And when I say my prejudices, I don't mean against black people or against any kind of whatever kind of people, but it doesn't matter who you are or what life you've lived or what religion, or it makes no difference. You are going to have some kind of prejudice. You are going to have something that's within you and you either fight it, argue it, or you just announce it. Whatever. But if you look in today's day and age, there's not one color of people today that are the mainstay, right? It's not like the majority of the population is white, and then there's the blacks, the Mexicans, Hispanics, blah 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 blah. Everybody's the interbreeding, what you want to call it, interbreeding. I don't know what to fucking call it. Sorry, I don't have the vocabulary for shit like this, but they're intermingling. Like my kids are white girls marrying Italians, marrying a black guy, marrying actually one of them's dating a Filipino guy. So it won't be long. Probably shortly after I'm dead, my grandkids generation, there won't be one race, or there won't be one specific race that leads them all, whites, blacks, whatever. It's going to be fucking everything. You're basically going to have to fucking lift up their shirt and see, okay, he looks like a zebra. He's got this, that, and the other. I don't know where the hell I was going with that. That just went right the hell out in the left field. I'm gonna bounce a lot of these comments. I just want to double check here. I think we've pretty much got. I caught that. Yeah, everyone in Buffalo is retarded. Well, my dog is a ball of anxiety too. Haven't found anything that works, including THC. Yeah, we can't do anything. Literally all we do is when there's a good thunderstorm going on, like when there's a real boomer going on. That's funny, eh, Lady Boomer? When there's a real thunder boomer going on out here, basically she just comes up on the bed and she just vibrates, just shakes. She's so scared. So scared. And your heart just breaks. And all you can literally do is just put your arms around her and hold her, right? And she'll climb right in between me and Dar. Someone's trying to burn Alberta down. This ain't natural arson, is my guess. Slickness, I think you're going to notice over the next 3 months, you're going to watch the northwest end of Manitoba, all of Saskatchewan, all of Alberta, and probably parts of BC up until say about up until you get into the mountain, the foothills of the mountain ranges. They're all going to burn, and it's not going to be by accident. They're all going to burn. Manitoba, Saskatchewan is wheat. Alberta is wheat, oil, and beef. But if there's nowhere for the beef to graze, and they can't get out and work on the oil because everything's on fire, you guys can see the progression of here of what's going to happen and where this is going. You watch. I'm telling you right now, Slickness. Thunder shirt doesn't work for ours. No. Well, Curtis, if I was Putin, I would be pissed too to find out America has got biolabs on all of his borders. Good point. Guard dog, he chewed it off. Yeah. I put on dog calming music and she eats these calming treats that help her. Yeah. If you go on Alexa, right, you can actually say, you go, Alexa, play dog calming music. And she does. And it's actually not half bad. Like it's not, you could sit and listen to it and it would calm you too, I would suspect. But it works for her. Or I'm not going to say it works for her, but it does help. It does help. Trucking with T-Bone. Evening, everybody. Evening, T-Bone. How the hell are you? You got your chickens in your back pocket? No? No chickens coming here, bro. I think I got her talked out of it. I do. No chickens coming here. You can come, but no chickens are coming. Hey, Boner. Yeah, that's right. Right? Who was it? Who said that? No, but somebody else put up something in their community. Daycab. Yeah, Daycab put something up in the cab. So if Wheel Burners subscribers are wheel burners, right? So if you guys are wheel burners, what are T-Bone subscribers? Well, they're boners, right? They're not T-boners, they're just boners. So if you're subscribed to T-Bone, you're a boner. Now, depending on which end of the country you live at, that may not be a bad thing. I thought you all were boners. Well, you know, takes one to know one. No, that's you. Dar, are you a boner? No. Yes, you are. Are you subscribed to T-Bone? Yeah. Well, then you're a boner. There you go. See? T-Bone, even Dar's got a bone for you. What? I'm not saying that. You go ahead and type it, but I ain't saying it. No way. Pardon your French. Oh, geez. My French is terrible. I can count to 10. I can swear. I think I can order food. I can understand it pretty good. If somebody's talking or they need something from me, I can usually get enough through that I'd be okay. It's the talking. I can't talk. I can't speak French. Quebecistan should leave Canada, and Canada should make Quebecistan and make all English. Good luck with that. If I was prime minister, I would sell Quebecistan to the U.S. The U.S. wouldn't take it. The only one that would take Quebecistan would be France. Some of the West should separate so we can join them, not BC. If Alberta is going to actually separate, I think if they did, I'd be moving to Alberta so fast. I really would. I'd be in Alberta so fast it would make everybody's head spin. Alberta can do it. Alberta is the only province in Canada that is self-sustaining. It does not need federal government money. It funds itself. It runs itself. It governs itself. It has nothing. It doesn't need anything from the rest of Canada. What are you doing here? Fucking separate. And take me with you. I could get worked up into a really good tirade about our government. Speaking of, Robert, you had me in goddamn tears. I swear to God, Dar and I were in tears. I came in the door just as you started your live. So we were playing your live, and you were just getting wound up. Like you were just getting warmed up, getting the old pipes cleaned out. And oh my God, by the time I made it in the door, dropped my shit, went to the laundry room, put my stuff in the laundry room, made it down to the bedroom, got undressed and turned the shower on. You were in full riot. I shit you not, dude. I stood there in the shower listening to you laughing, right? Like I wasn't laughing at what you were saying because I could hear your conviction and I could hear, I could hear the truth is what I could hear. and I could hear your conviction, and I could hear your belief, and I could hear your anger, even though you'd laugh afterwards. At the time, in the moment when you were saying it, I could tell, wait a minute, this man is angry about what's going on in his country. But damn, if you were ever in politics, there's no way you'd be able to go into the House, because you'd come unglued, come unwound, call everybody a bunch of dumb cunts, which they are. Don't get me wrong, Robert. I agree with you. But Jesus, you were on a tear tonight, and I just want to say, you know what, my friend? Well done. Well done. Those French are the most bigoted and racist bunch of people I have ever met. Gave me attitude and held me forever at the dock back in 2011, and then they started speaking to me and said I said I don't speak Spanish. Here's the thing about one of the things about the French. A good portion of them, I'm not going to say a good part, I'm going to say most of them do speak English. Unless you get up into like northern Quebec, like way up north, where there's a town of 4,000 people and 3,998 of them have never left that town, then they don't know how to speak English. They are truly 100% French. You know, the only one that knows how to speak that's ever left the town might have been the doctor, because, you know, he goes from town to town. But other than that, but anybody that was born and raised in like any of the bigger Montreal, Sherbrooke, Quebec City, Trois-Rivières, any of the bigger cities in it, they do speak English, because you got to realize Quebec is one province that speaks French. Now, all of the rest of the provinces don't. They all speak English. So if they want to leave Quebec and go anywhere else in Canada, they need to know how to speak English, right? We, on the other hand, don't need to know how to speak I don't need to know how to speak English or French to go from here to Alberta or here to BC or here to Newfoundland or anything like that. French is a one province state thing, so it's not a big deal. But they do need to know how to speak English. And most of them do. If they're refusing to do it, it's not because they don't know how. It's because they're just not doing it. They don't feel like it, you know, or they are just busting your ass, busting your chops. And that's it. You know, that is it. Old school. Curtis, we don't want it either. You guys don't want Quebec? Dude, nobody wants Quebec. Even France doesn't want it. They were going to take it. Curtis, trade y'all Quebec for the entire west coast of the U.S. No, John, that's a bad trade. Keep the west coast or east. Keep the west coast. Keep the west coast. Doesn't matter, John. Eventually, that one massive quake's going to come. You're going to lose most of California. So what are you worried about? What's going on, Paul? How the hell are you, man? I was in Gettysburg while the KKK were there, but never saw them protesting. I have never seen one. And we've got factions up here in Canada. You know, just because we got a small population doesn't mean we don't have that kind of shit. We've got that, although I've never seen it. So most of my friends are black. Up where I live here, it's mixed everything. It's mixed everything. There's, you know, black, white, Chinese, Oriental, Filipino, Hispanic, Mexican. Like, I mean, even Red Hawk could live up here. Fun fact, Ukraine is the most racist country in the world. White supremacy is part of it. Curtis has a hard-on for Ukraine tonight, guys. Anybody know what's going on? I'm telling you, Curtis. If you don't like it, why don't you go over there? Go do something about it. Less than 30 minutes from where I live. I'd be surprised if the racist white supremacists didn't outnumber the rest of the people. Very widespread in Missouri and Arkansas. Yeah. That falls. Remember that falls along the same lines as your population is huge as compared to ours, right? We could have what we would think is a huge white supremacist group. You know, if it had 50 members in it, that would be a big white supremacist group for us. To you guys, that's like fucking Thursday. You know, you got 340 million people. So yeah, you're going to have a few more white supremacists. You're going to have a few more, a few more gangbangers. You're going to have whatever we've got. You guys are going to have a few more of them. So the noise and the exposure that yours get are like ours don't get that kind of exposure. Ours don't get that they don't make that kind of noise. They really don't. After some of your videos about Cascadia, I'm going to buy one and we'll need a training to know how to drive automatic trans properly. Elbow cough. Okay, Cliff. Cliff, if you really want to know and you want to know how to spec out a Cascadia properly, I'll be more than happy to work with you on that, man. That's not a problem. Elbow cough. What's wrong with your Volvo? What's wrong with that Volvo you got there, Sunshine? That's a good looking truck. I like your Volvo. I don't want it, but it's not a bad looking truck. Okay, here we go. I identify as a 5'5" black female lesbian with long blonde hair. Damn, Mr. Beast, that is sexy. Here we go. I can't wait to see what's going to be coming up next. Who identifies as what? Wow, this is wow, is the situation serious on that level? Tolga, yeah, it is. What did white people invent? Trucks. You wouldn't be driving one if it wasn't for white people. So fuck off with your white supremacist bullshit. We are strong. Funny, last I checked, we all come from the same planet, Earth, no matter what color we are. Thank you, Mr. Bees. Thank you very much. Well said. Very well said. Absolutely agree. Exactly. Tolga, no, not really. They hide it unless you get to know them. One of my ex-girlfriend's sister married one for a month. Found out at the wedding. Woo! That'd be a tough one to get down the aisle knowing, eh, Don? Holy shit. Well, I've known people that use the N-word and they use it all the time. And they feel certain ways about different races and shit like that. Would I say that they're white supremacists? No. But on the other hand, I've known, other minority groups that have, spoken the same way about whites and other groups. So I don't know. It's this day and age, you never know what the fuck you're going to get into. Southbound Pachyderm. Bagelsville is the race that's going to rule everything. Bagelville? The fuck are you talking about, Bagelville? I start thinking bagels. I want cream cheese. I don't know where Bagelville is. I've never understood how people can have such hatred for no reason. That's a good point. I don't have a problem with anybody unless you cross me. And if you cross me by accident, that's fine. We can deal with that. Accidents happen. Everybody knows. If you're crossing me on purpose to hurt me or hurt and inflict pain or whatever on me or somebody I love, then we're going to have an issue. But other than that, man, like, get along. I get along with pretty much everybody now. I didn't always, but nowadays I can pretty much get along with anybody. And although, yeah, I still have a bit of a temper, it's nowhere near what it used to be. Just got here. What are we talking about? Josh, you know what? We're bouncing. We're bouncing tonight. We're left, right. We're not sure where we're going to land right now. We're just kind of in the shit. Brian, did you try the Thunder Jacket for her? Yeah, we tried a Thunder Jacket for her. It did not work. Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about the dog and not for Dar, right? I'll throw this Thunder Jacket on Dar and see what happens. We'll see how that works. But yes, we did try it for the dog. Was not successful. Didn't work. Actually, it was actually a disaster because I think she chewed the shit out of it. Sorry, this is the second time I've done this. I've sat here and ate my dinner in front of you guys, and that's rather rude, and I apologize, but I don't want to be out. I don't want to be here till 2:00 in the morning. So, Kitty Craze with Dar. I blame the media, but it also has to do with the people not having experience with other races. A lot of these places only have whites in their population. That is a good point, and we do have that, Donnie. If you go up, say, Northern Ontario, Northern Quebec, any of the northern, the provinces, any of the northern end of it, you will primarily find white people, like whites. Even, I guess, even out in the East Coast, even in the Maritimes, same thing. And that's just the way that is. Now, that's not to say that, you go up there, you wouldn't see a black person or an Oriental or something like that. You will. But for the most part, just for the most part. You killing that cat? Well, good point, WC. I grew up in a very diverse neighborhood. Yeah, so did I. I grew up in Toronto, right? Toronto is a huge melting pot. Like, we have a massive Chinatown. We have a massive. Toronto has a massive. It's almost like little Jamaica, or like a Caribbean, and it's not little. It's a big area of Toronto is like a Caribbean. So you'll get Jamaica, Barbados, Bahamas, Trinidad, Tobago, all within that area. So Toronto is really big on the Chinatown, the Caribbean. Brampton and Bramalea are primarily like you'd find the Indians and Pakistanis and the Azerbaijan and like all of that out there. But Toronto is, if you grew up in Toronto, you saw every race. You saw every race. And something that was very, very impressive, and I said this a long time ago, and I was so impressed with this. I was actually blown away by this. When we went to the convoy, okay, because you gotta think about this, okay? You put all of these people, all of these different cultures into a melting pot like Toronto and the surrounding area, because it spilled out of Toronto. Toronto was too small, and obviously it spilled out to the surrounding communities. But you take all of these cultures, so you got black, white, Hispanic, Oriental, all of the Indians, the French, everything, all of that. When we went to the convoy, when the convoy started, the whole time that the convoy was on, every single culture that was there, recognized there, got along with everybody else. It was not uncommon to see, a couple of Indian guys standing here talking with the French guy, and the French guys sitting there talking with us. And it was very, very, very blended. And everybody, for that time and place, for those couple of weeks, nobody was thinking about themselves. They were thinking about the cause. Now, if we could only think that way about our country, right? If we could think that way about our country, take that same process, instead of thinking about ourselves and, these people don't like me, so I'm not going to like them back, and, blah, 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 blah. You could probably eliminate a lot of prejudice and a lot of problems. But you know what? I don't know why the fuck we're talking about this, because I am not solving the world's problems here tonight. Meaning, when kids grow up and go all through school, they never experience firsthand a person of another race. We do have that. Sorry, I'm just jumping again through comments because there's just way too many here. Yeah. Do I? Where? I don't know. Someone's saying you. They're just fucking with you. There's nothing in my beard. Someone being an asshole? No, someone's saying you do. Yeah, whatever. Let's start here. Every single race culture has a racist part of it. I have seen it from every race culture. You know what, John? You're right. It doesn't matter what race or what culture you are. You have a prejudice, or you have you are racist towards another one, whether it be a black towards a white, or a white toward a black, or a Hispanic towards it. Doesn't matter. There's always one. Always one, eh? How's the furry family, Dar? How you? Sorry, Bill. If you've been in here and I didn't see you, I'm not ignoring you. Obviously, comments are just going through. So I just bounced through and I finally see you here. So come on with it. You're here. Glad you're here, man. Good to see you. They are great with it. Yeah, everybody. All the kitties are good. Everybody's good. All right, let's get up here. Profane truth. All you need is a bottle of wine, and it's easy to get along with French, Portuguese, Spanish, or Italian-speaking people. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? Although I've had their homemade wine. Oh, Jesus. Profane truth. Have you ever had homemade Portuguese wine? Couldn't drink it. Couldn't drink it. I had instant heartburn. Instant, like, intestinal bleeding. It was horrible. I don't know if anybody drank that stuff, but they love it. They love it. Mind you, that's like anything. You put alcohol, you could be in the middle of a wicked bar fight. As soon as somebody yells, "Drinks are on the house," fighting starts, everybody bellies up to the bar. So I highly don't think Alberta will separate. They need us Ontario East Coasters to work there. Well, you know what? You're right. If you go out to Alberta right now and you go out oil, or if you go into their construction, the Noofs, the East Coasters, they are all over it. Absolutely all over it. But I can tell you this: if they separate the Noofs would probably go with them. Why wouldn't they? What are they going to go back to Newfoundland? They're doing better and living better. They're living a better life in Alberta than they are in Newfoundland. I'll tell you that. Quebec should have left when they wanted to. Then we build a wall around it and fill in with water. Dude, you know what? Quebec has had multiple chances to leave. The last time that they tried to leave, their own people stopped it. It was probably going to happen, but their own people absolutely stopped it for some reason, because you got to think about Quebec is a massive province. But if they leave, they're not taking all that land with them, because it wasn't all theirs. Some of that was gifted to them by the country. I'll tell you right now, if Quebec leaves, some of that land's coming back. Quebec has this idea that, we're going to separate and become our own country, and then we're going to tax the rest of Canada going east and west, because you need to go through Quebec to get out to the Maritimes. And if you're in the Maritimes, you need to come through Quebec. You know what? I guarantee you this right now. I will pay money to the US to go down through New York and Maine and pop up the other side before I'll give a penny to Quebec. That's how much I dislike it. Right? I think they're bullshit about let's separate. Fucking get on with it and go. Right? Don't threaten us that you're going to do it and then back out at the last minute when we tell you, hey, go, there's the door. See you later. Bye-bye. Au revoir. No. My buddy Chris sent me a song. I put vocals on it from a girlfriend and then produced it. Coached my vocals. Put your link up, Mike. Throw your link up there. My French sucks, so I'll say it in English. Hit the like, folks. There you go. It doesn't matter what language you say it in. Just hit that like. I'm almost done. I promise. I'm almost done. Oh. Hey, Dodie. How are you? I got a message from you. And I will call you back. Don't worry. Ask anybody that knows me. If you call and leave a message, if you call on Monday, usually you'll get something back by about Thursday or Friday. So I did get your message saying hi and whatnot. I do have your number now. So I will give you a call back. Have no fear. Still love you. You're good. Edgewood 66, welcome back, ma'am. How was the meal? Oh, see, she's been here a while, I guess, eh? Curtis. Oh, hold on. What the hell was that? Just over 6 million people live in Missouri. That's the whole state of Missouri. I think we got more than 6 million in Ontario. I don't know. Somebody Google that. I think Ontario's got more than 6 million people. I may be retarded. It's not maybe, Curtis. You can take the I may be off of that. You just go, I am, and just keep going, okay? But going full retard and going to Ukraine and fight is beyond me. Sure. I'm too tired to eat. I have to take a shower in a bit. Thanks for asking, Tog. Now we're into shorts. I know just je t'aime. That means I love you. And we in French, that's yes. I think it's pretty enough to create the strong relations. Hey, dude, if you can come over and say that, you say it to the right person, you know, things could work out for you. You never know what you'll get with that. Edgewood 66, how are you, young lady? Oh, look at IH guy, just fucking schmoozing it here. Schmoozing it here. Young lady, telling you. Quebec, the British let the French have it. Peace. Now they realize being French is shit. You're right, Robert. You're right. I'm telling you. Even the French don't want to be French. Mange la merde means eat my shit. Actually, it means eat shit, not my shit, but eat shit. Hi. Okay, Doty's saying hi to IH. I identify as a 2024 589 Pete. You know what? Okay, Pete. How you doing, Pete? That's how you identify? Hanging with the Holtz. How the hell are you guys, man? Hopefully you're well. Everything's going cool. Cliff, my Volvo running great. No complaints so far. If it ain't broke, don't fix it then, Cliff. What do you want the Cascadia for? Happy Friday, Havana. Oz. Tell you what, Cliff, just buy mine. Just buy mine. Save you the hassle. Mexico is not from this planet. Well, if you say so. I hope it is. I got 2 kids living there. I identify as a 100cc chainsaw. Want me to prove it? Let's hear you. Do it. Everyone's saying hi to Red Hawk. Red Hawk's already been here. You don't have to say hi to him again. Tolga, my Turkish brother. Oh, great. Red Hawk is here. Yeah, see, you're scaring people away here, Red Hawk. Robert, you're not live anymore. I was bouncing back and forth. I didn't want to jump on you. I didn't want to step on you, Robert. So we were kind of watching you while we were getting some shit ready here. But then, like I said, I wanted to go live because I don't want to be doing this till 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, I have no intentions of doing like a 5-hour live here tonight. And now that I've said that, you guys know what's going to happen, right? No. You hear that? You hear that? I can't tell you how much the racist white supremacists irritate me. I love the Confederate flag, but because of the bigots, they've changed the meaning of the flag to a racist meaning. I agree. If they'd have just done the research, I think they realize what the real true meaning of that Confederate flag is. Everybody does. But it's unfortunate that this small minority of group of people over here take that Confederate flag and they make it dirty, right? So because of this small group, that flag is now, how do you want to say that, Don? It's tarnished, right? And that's unfortunate. That's truly unfortunate. Because you know what? I'm not an American, obviously. But that Confederate flag, you know, was on the top of the General Lee, the Dukes of Hazzard. Like, do you really think about this, Don? And all of you is right now. If all of a sudden the Dukes of Hazzard came back on TV, they wouldn't be able to have the General Lee. First of all, they couldn't name the car General Lee, and they wouldn't be able to have that Confederate flag on the roof. How fucked up is that? How messed up is that? I know Patrick would only be watching for Daisy Duke, but I was watching for the car. I had a picture of the General Lee and Catherine Bach, so Daisy Duke, Heather Locklear, Heather Thomas, Farrah Fawcett, Smokey and the Bandit. That's what I had in my bedroom. Red Hawk, go to Colombia, never mind Mexico. Hey, my kids bounce back and forth. They love it. Sorry, Donnie, my mouse ain't working. The Confederate flag always represents state rights before they started using it for their parades and meetings. Well, I would like to think that what we hear up here from about the reports and the news is fairly correct, but I wouldn't be surprised if even us up here have the story mixed up or have the story wrong. There's probably more to it that we don't know about. Oh God, is Sterling here? Did Sterling walk in? Uh-oh. Got to tiptoe through the tulips. Sterling's is here. Okay, folks, what do you think Brian identifies as? Oh, this ought to be good. IH guy, I heard they're handing out free cocaine for tourists. Oh, that's Canada. That's Canada. I judge people by the content of their character, not by the color of their skin. So, you, sir, have good character. Thanks, Bill. That is something, you know what? I'm going to absolutely agree with that. I haven't always been that way. I've not based my opinions or my feelings about a person on their character. I do very much now, and I actually count on my instincts about that person's character to lead the way when I'm meeting new people or doing business with certain types of people. Character means a lot. Character is almost like one of those things is like it's like your name. It's the only thing that's truly yours, right? My name is the only thing is truly mine. And my character, which basically is who I am as a man, not as a person, but as a man, my character as a man is who I am, is truly mine. It's the only thing that's mine. And I agree 100% with you with it. And that I feel very much the same way. Sometimes I've been wrong. And when I'm wrong, excuse me. And when I'm wrong about that kind of things, I'll tell you I'm wrong. I got no problem saying I'm wrong. I don't like it. Believe me. It's not in my character. Not in my character one single bit. Nevada Trucking and Trails does not invite Mexicans to his house. What are you talking about? I'm pretty sure he does. I'm pretty sure he does. I'm pretty sure there was one mowing his lawn or planting some flowers or something out there the other morning. That's what I saw. Tolga, of course. Okay, so. Got grease in your beard, man. You rock. I don't have grease in my beard. Show me grease. Is that what you're thinking that is over there? I don't know what that is, but there's nothing there. No grease. No pierogies. Oh, sorry, man. I'm in Koreatown, Toronto. Smells better than Chinatown. Truth. You know what? It's been a long time since I've been down there. When we were kids, we used to go to a Chinese food restaurant down in Chinatown in Toronto called Lychee Gardens. It was massive, and it was a true this was this is going back to the mid '80s, mid '80s, late '80s type area there. And this was when Chinese food restaurants were true Chinese food restaurants, right? Like back then, Because if you go to Chinatown and you go to a restaurant in Chinatown, you're eating as close to authentic Chinese food as you can. Not the shit you're getting from 1-800-Ding-a-ling-wing-tang-hang, down the street here. And we would actually go down there. My family, my mom and dad love Chinese food. And a couple times a year we go down there and we'd walk around. And we were totally welcomed, totally safe, totally fine. Walking around Chinatown, didn't understand a lick or a word anybody was saying, but it was a new experience. It was good. I enjoyed it. Yeah, Brian, how rude! You didn't even offer your dinner to us. You and you have something hanging from your beard. Knock this shit off. There's nothing. You're full of shit. You're all full of shit. I call it. Ooh, does he really? No, I don't. I can't handle it. Okay, this is getting to be. No offense. I hated Toronto for what you went through as a teen there. Way too many friends died due to gang war. I was shot and stabbed. Lucky to be here at age 41. In Toronto? Well, I think that what you're talking about is the Jane Finch corridor, Corey. I don't know if that's technically Toronto. I think that's, what is that, Etobicoke? But when I was, let's call it for lack of a better term of saying it, when I was playing in Toronto, in the late 80s, early 90s, I was down, I was doing a lot of my playing down on the Danforth. So I was down at places like Jilly's and, the Rock Ball. And if you know what those places are and who owned them and who ran them and things like that, that's where I was. So we didn't have a whole lot of gang wars per se. Not really. The gangs, I think that there was more gang wars or more gang related problems and incidences. They were out in like I said, the Jane Finch corridor, Rexdale, all up and down Rexdale Boulevard, that whole area there. That's kind of where that kind of shit happened. I really didn't give it any time of day. Brampton, you mean Browntown? Just saying what I heard. Yeah, you can call it what you want. It's you know what well, who told me the joke? I think it was my friend Waleed, right? He's from Afghanistan. He said, if you know where, see, you guys don't know any of the streets in Toronto, or in Brampton, or if you want to know where the border is between India and Pakistan, it's Dixie Road. And that's just a joke. But yeah, Brampton and Bramalea is primarily, what are they East Asian? I guess so. There'd be India, Pakistan, Afghan, all of that are all Brampton, Bramalea, Bolton, Malton, Northern Mississauga, now Burlington, parts of Oakville. Yeah. Darsh. Yeah, Darsh. Mississauga and Brampton are leaving GTA. Mississauga was never part of GTA, and neither was Brampton. The GTA extended out to Etobicoke and Scarborough. Mississauga never became part of the Greater Toronto Area. Or people said, "Oh, I live in Mississauga or the GTA, whatever." No, they never became part of it. Neither did Brampton. But Mississauga, I was born in Toronto, and when we were young, we moved out to Mississauga. And then when I became of age that I could, get around myself, I went back to Toronto. So I grew up in Mississauga. As soon as people realize we're all star children, we are all here from a star going Nova millions of years ago. If you say so, bro. If you say so. I don't have enough faith and I don't have enough brain power to figure that out. IH guy, that's what Brampton is called. I live in Brampton. Yeah. I'm just kidding. Okay. I lived in Brampton for a few years. I've never lived there. Driven through it millions of times. Know my way around it like the back of my hand. Since COVID, Brampton has gotten worse. I don't care your nationality or religion, but you must follow my culture when it is in my land. Robert, you know what, my man? I agree very strongly with that. And it's one of those statements that you can say it, and there's chances are you might lose some friends. But if you're strong enough to say something like that, you can probably not. You don't need those friends. And I do agree with that. I do agree with that. Canada does have have problems where we have people coming from other countries and other cultures, and they're bringing their country, they're bringing their traditions and their cultures with them, and that's okay. But these are our laws here. This is our country. Canada is our country. The United States is our country. So when you are here, you will adhere to our laws. You are coming here for a reason. And this is the way I kind of look at this. You are coming to Canada for a reason. If things are so great in your country, you wouldn't be coming to mine. You're coming here for a reason. So don't expect to come from your country to my country and change my country and expect me to go, okay, well, you're here from, say, India or Pakistan or wherever you're from, and those are the rules and laws. So, okay, you can bring them over here and they apply over here. No, this is my country here. We have our rules and our traditions and our laws and our governing bodies, and we have all of that in place. It's already here. It was here long before you ever got here. So you will adhere to them. And the problem we have now is they're coming and they're not. They're not. And what they've started to do is they've implemented themselves into our politics. Now that's fine. If you move here from India, whatever, you and your wife have a couple of kids and your son grows up in Canada and he's a Canadian and he goes into politics and he becomes the minister of whatever in politics, I got no problem with that. Absolutely none whatsoever. But then if being a son or a daughter of an Indian or a Pakistani family, now you're going to start to, because now you've got some influence, you can try to change or influence certain ways of things of happening in our country so that you can get more or you can change to what your culture was. Or I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly. If I am, fine. If I'm not, I'm sorry. I'm trying to say this and not, piss off fucking 600 people. Not that I've got 600 people sitting here, but you know what I'm talking about. At the end of the day is if you're going to come here, you're going to adhere to our rules. And this is our country. You're coming to be a Canadian. Let me put it to you this way. If I left right now, if I got up out of my chair right now, went out and got in my car, went to the airport, got in a plane to India, would I be afforded all the same rules, regulations, and rights as I am in Canada over in your country? Hell no. Fuck no. God damn no. So why would we do it here? Why do you have that expectation that when you come here that we're going to, all of your rules and regulations and your beliefs, bring your religion, that's fine. Bring your God, that's fine. You don't have the right to pound it down my throat and that I have to respect it or live it or listen to it. I don't. If that's your gig, that's your gig. I'll respect that. Don't come here expecting me to do. Anyway. Anywho. See what you started, Robert? Jesus Christ. Tolga agreed. That looks like 10,000%. That's pretty big, man. That's a pretty big agreement. I lived there when I was 21. Well, babe, you're only 23. Come on, eh? Bring some tequila to my house and you're welcome. Yeah. Funny how alcohol does that, eh? I heard gunshots Sunday night. Well, that wasn't me. I promise, Karen, that wasn't me. I had nothing to do with that. Everyone's saying hi to Havana. If you want or need an AZ or CDL, go to Brampton. IH, you can buy it. Well, let's face it, IH. Up until what, 2 years ago? What do we have? 23. So 2020 is when the big crackdown happened, right? So from from 2018, 2019, 2020, you literally could go roll into Brampton. You could buy a CDL for $1,000. And in some cases, $500. And then all of those guys are now on the road. Isn't that scary? Karen, how does that make you feel living in Brampton, knowing that most of the truck drivers in Brampton that are driving in Brampton bought those driver's licenses? Never once took a driving course, never once took a test. My best friend moved her family out of there a few years ago. Yeah. The Holts don't invite Mexicans to their home. Damn those Holts. I heard, you know what? I heard they're funny like that. You know what, Red Hawk? I'll talk to them, but I'm not making any promises. They don't invite white people to their house either. So could you imagine look at this. Look at this face. Can you imagine this? The Holts go live and you see this. Fuck. No, I don't think that's happening. I won't leave apartment without my hubby. Well, you know what? I will walk around in Brampton. Believe me, I am not afraid of that. Trucking with Liberty. If wheel burner subs are wheel burners and T-bones are boners, does that make my son libertarians? Oh, Jesus. Holy Christ. No. I don't know what it makes yours. Trucking with Liberty. We can call them librarians. Libertarians. We won't go down the libertarian path. I love tequila, but it's not drink you can drink by yourself. You need a cool conversation friend. It has some culture and some Turkish Reiki or Greek ouzo. Well, I hate to tell you this, but I had no trouble drinking tequila alone. I had no trouble drinking ouzo alone either. I was quite happy to drink those alone or in a crowd. Didn't matter to me. Pierre Trudeau had a tattoo of a map of Canada on his butt. Every time he bent over, Quebec separated. That's actually pretty fun. That's actually pretty good there, Truth. That's actually pretty good. I like that. Red Hawk, my house is full of Mexicans, even the dogs. Well, you see, now they're importing them. That's what I'm saying. That you got to watch those Holts. Hey, you got to watch those Holts, eh? I'm telling you. Now they're importing Mexicans. Well, you know what? Even the Holts need some yard work done. Dar, I just sent you guys a picture of my stress reliever for the dogs that the missus found. Works well. Oh, I don't have my phone, so I can't check messages. If any of you guys are texting me or messaging me, I do not have my phone. It's over there charging. Yes, in the last year, there have been 3 stabbings around my apartment. Jesus Christ, Karen, where do you live? Like, I know Brampton really, really, really well. Like, fuck, are you up on the, are you around the Lisa Street area? Your dogs are Mexicans, always fighting for fuck's sake. They're fighting for something to eat. Half my grandchildren are Mexicans. What are the other half? Thank you, T-Bone. There you go. There you go. Lady Boomer and the other half. What are the other half? Hi, Havana. Hi, Boomer. Everybody's talking. Okay, so everybody's just saying hi. That's weird. Why don't I see my comment from the other channel, but it looks like Tolga did? Your comment was up there. You're libertarian. It was up there. Maybe your other channel doesn't have enough traction yet. You got to work on that. The British will give you freedom. Unfortunately, the British are now a bunch of pussies. Forgot their heritage. The hardest cunts on the planet. The American and Canadian muse. Jesus, Robert. Robert, you're so hardcore. Lady Boomer, feisty and hard. Yeah, exactly, eh? I'm Irish. A 3rd gen. Grandparents are off the boat. Kind of wish I was over there smacking some Brits for the for the Brexit BS. Hey. I don't know if that worked out well. I don't know. You know what? I know what it was. Obviously, I know what the Brexit was and why they did it and everything like that. But I don't think I know if it's paid off for them. If it's been a good thing. If it's worked out for them. I'm not sure. Got to ride out. Y'all have a great night. All right, guard dog. See you later, Johnny. Be good, brother. Be safe, eh? I'll give you a shout. 15 million people in Ontario. There you go, Corey. Well, here, think about this, eh? 15 million people in Canada or in Ontario, and there's only 37 million in the whole country. So we've almost got half the population just in Ontario. And yet, the province of Alberta is more powerful than Ontario. Hanging with the Holtz. Good to see you back in the chats. Absolutely. Good night, Yard Dog, Outdoor Corey. Everybody's saying good night to John. Tolga, you're a lifesaver. Didn't know I had top messages selected. That fixed it. There you go. There you go. I love you, Brian. I hope you didn't upset you by giving you a call. I'm sorry. All good, Dodie. All good. Don't worry about it. Eat my ass means ... Well, eat my ass. You know what? I'm not in the mood for Mexican tonight. So, we're going to kind of hold that one off. The McRib is back. Is it wrong to hook a Canuck for some sweet health care? You know what, dude? If you can do it and get away with it, go for it. Who was I talking to? I was talking with Invader on the phone the other day, and we were talking about the differences between the American healthcare system and the Canadian healthcare system. You guys laugh at the Canadians, but I tell you right now, and you'll hear these odd Canadians going, "Oh, our healthcare and this and fucking that, and it's hip that and that." You know what? The only time you hear a Canadian complaining about our healthcare system is because they don't know how bad you guys have it in the States and what your healthcare truly costs you in dollars and cents. There's not a Canadian on the fucking planet that would open their mouth and complain if they truly knew the scope of how bad the American healthcare system really is and what shambles it's in. Nobody would complain. Nobody would complain. And trust me, like if you guys truly knew how our system worked, you'd lose your shit. You'd lose your mind. And Invader and I were just tossing back and forth. Like we were just making comments like, okay, I said, Donnie, you got kids. He goes, yeah. I says, okay, so you went to the hospital. You and your wife went to the hospital. You guys had a baby. They gave you a bill. Well, how much was the bill? Well, it was X amount, right? After this, and then you got to get a discount for this and whatever subsidy, blah, blah, blah. But you still, at the end of the day, you get a fucking bill to have a baby. I don't. I've never in my life ever gone into the hospital. I'm 53. I've never in my life gone into the hospital and been presented a bill that I had to pay when I left. I've been presented with a bill for, say, like I busted my knee or something and I needed crutches, and they'll give you the crutches and they'll give you a bill for the crutches. They'll give you a bill for the ambulance ride if you require an ambulance. But any medical, I've had surgeries on my back, both my knees. I mean, I've had major surgeries all over me. I've never had a bill. That is a wonderful freedom that you guys just don't know. It really is. But so if you ever hear a Canadian complaining about the healthcare system, you have my permission to please walk up and smack the shit out of them. Absolutely smack the fucking head clean off their shoulders. I will never get rid of my Confederate flag. It means more to me than the U.S. flag. I had a great-great-grandfather who was with Lincoln. There you go. It truly does have a lot of meaning to a lot of people. Like, and this is coming from a guy I was like this Canadian that, we can see what it truly means to that part of the country. It doesn't mean, that the negative and the bad and what that small percentage is trying to put it off as. It has a great history, a great heritage. Hi, Holtz. Hi, T-Bone. The winning side always write history. You're right, Chaos. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate because sometimes the winning side are just a bunch of dicks. He wrote a letter about how Lincoln was splitting the country even more. Interesting. Lady Boomer, thanks. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Hey, Bri and chat, how is everyone's Friday? Well, dude, I'm home. I'm tired, but hey, it's all good. Sorry, Robert. What the hell? No worries, pal. I only went live because nobody else was. I'll stand aside for the wheel burner. Dude, I appreciate that. Thank you. That's cool. Although I do get an education, Robert, every time you go off like that. Now, mind you, you really went the fuck off on this one. But I do get a bit of an education because some of it does some of it does sink in. Bo Duke's wife just died a few weeks ago. I watch him on YouTube. He was drowning in tears in real life. Well, I think just about anybody whose wife died would probably be drowning in tears. What the hell was Bo? Bo was John Schneider. John Schneider. Bo and Luke was Tom Wopat. Fuck, am I old, eh? Am I ever old when I can tell you the Duke boys' real names? Trucking with MC. Hey, man. Kicking in. Hey. Welcome. Thanks. Thank God you're here. Somebody that's fucking somewhat normal. Somewhat normal. Told us. What's up, MC? Sup, brother? There you go. Everyone's saying hi. What up, everyone? Edgewood. Haha. There's French fries in your beard, Brian. Oh, wait, that's a little bird. There's no French fries in my beard. I was in fucking French fry land today, but no French fries. You guys got to realize, you know what? The French are good for a couple of things. Okay, there are some good things that came out of Quebec. Okay, there's two things that are good that came out of Quebec. One is poutine. You guys call it poutine, right? Fries, French fries, gravy, and cheese curds. And if it's made traditional with traditional northern Quebec cheese, the cheese curds, there's nothing in the world that's better. It is a guaranteed heart attack unless you are like me on cholesterol medication. I promise you, you eat a box, because they serve it in a box, like a shoe box. And if you eat like a small box of this stuff, I promise you by the time you're done, your arteries are hardening. But it is so good and so worth it. And I think the only other thing that they put out in great quantities that are anything or worth anything are strippers. That's about it. Strippers and poutine. I'll take the poutine. I have it tattooed on my arm because I loved Southern rock at the time. Loved the General Lee Charger and considered myself a rock and roll rebel. Some people don't like it. Tough shit. It's my arm. Hey, dude, I've seen Confederate flags on the back, like right down the whole back, you know. Certain slogans, I can't remember any off the top of my head, but, you know, they've got them written down the arms, down like this. Hey, man, that's awesome, Scott. Good for you. Tolga's laughing. IH is dotying. Long hauling and outdoors with Corey. I was on Jane and Finch corner. I don't know. It's been a while since I've been there, but we used to. Okay, we're giving away shit. If you had a vehicle that wasn't yours and you wanted to get rid of it rather quickly, you go to the mall, the corner of Jane and Finch, right? The Jane Finch Mall. And you literally drive it in and you drive it nose up. So in the parking lot, because the parking lot is like Jane and Finch, right? So you nose it up to the Jane side of the parking lot. Just leave the keys on the seat, leave the windows down, get out and walk away. Before you could make it to the sidewalk, the car would be gone. Gone. So anytime we needed to get rid of evidence or whatever, it went to the Jane Finch Mall. Yeah, we could unload and lose anything or anyone. Yeah, if somebody said, "Oh, what are you doing?" "Oh, we're going to Bob's over on Jane Finch." No, you weren't. You were going to get your ass. You were getting your ass handed to you. I ran with the Bloods then. There's no Bloods in the Jane Finch Mall, Jane Finch corridor. Jilly's. Scott Walker. Do you know where Jilly's is? Down on the Danforth? Just If you have any shoes from back in the 80s and you check the soles of the shoes, they'll still be sticky. Long Holland and outdoor Curry Gasper. That's a tough area. It is a tough area. Although it's not as tough as it used to be. They actually built a police station right there. Like if you take the 400 north, you get off at Finch Avenue. People don't realize it because what they did is they camouflaged the police station. But when you go up the ramp at Finch, you get off at Finch off the 400, and you go up the ramp and you're making it's sort of bends to the right. There's like a green building right here on the left-hand side. That's a Metro Toronto Police station. It's 31 Division. And it's the 31 Division. It's the Jane Finch Corridor Police Station. And what they did is they put that police station in there, and for years, nobody really realized what it was because they ran nothing but unmarked cars out of it when they first started that police station. And now, if you go there now, it'll say Metro Toronto Police Department, 31 Division, blah, 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 blah. And it looks like a police station. But for years, it was like basically a camouflage police station. And they cleaned that area up pretty good for, I guess, what you could consider being cleaned up. It's nowhere near as bad as it used to be. I can tell you that. Nevada's here. Good to see you guys, man. Hope you're. Hey, Darlene. I'm not saying that. You're gonna have to take care of that, Dar. That one's on you. My wife tries to get me to say things. It doesn't work, but she tries to get me to say shit. Long Haul and Outdoors with Corey Gasper and Bruce. That is near Tormont Cat area. I did some cat training there early 2000s. So where are you? I know where you are. I think I know where you are if you're talking about the same area. IH guy got scars from that area. Everyone's saying hi to Nevada. Dar saying hi. Nevada saying hi. Good trucking hustle. You might be dying to ask a question like me, but we won't. I'm not dying to ask. You're dying to ask it. I ain't asking it. Oh, wow. I did my heavy equipment training in Hamilton when I lived in Brantford 8 years. Now I'm back on the 705 Nickel City area. Now I'm back in the 705 Nickel City area. Jesus Christ. I got to get my glasses fucking fixed. Wow, Red Hawk's doing an older birthday party. Red Hawk's doing, he's older. Jesus Christ. I can't read and none of you can fucking type. Is it his birthday? Is it Red Hawk's birthday? I'm not singing him happy birthday. Nevada, my birthday was yesterday. All right. Well, happy belated birthday. Oh, happy belated birthday. There you go. I tell you what, Red Hawk, I'll send you a couple of hats. He's 12, maybe 13. He's getting there. Yeah. You know, one day, Nevada, he's going to grow up and be a fine, outstanding citizen when he gets to be of age. Dar, thank you. I'm 27. Never looked better. I'm 47. So glad to have a weekend off finally. Guess that's my fault for telling my boss I'm single and don't need to be home much when I got hired. Dude, I wouldn't have said that. You're crazy. Same age as me. There you go. There you go, Dar. Go get yourself a little 47-year-old Red Hawk. Right? Dar likes Mexican. She's Mexican. There you go. Liar. 65 ain't so bad, Red Hawk. Happy birthday. Nah, he's not 65. He doesn't look 65. If I'm 13, Nevada is 5. He's got a point there, Kyle. Shut up what? Shut up, Star Bollocks. Oh, Robert, be nice. What the hell are you talking about? Happy belated birthday, Red Hawk. Am I even getting close? Am I getting close to the bottom here? I'm just jumping. No, not even close. No. Fuck. Grand Wizard finally. I don't know how long you've been here, Wiz. Sorry. Toe the government line and you'll get free health care. No, not really. That's my office, so I don't think he has. You ever sit on that chair behind you? That chair is actually super, super comfortable. It's actually a recliner. You wouldn't know it, but it's a recliner. And I don't know how any of you fuckers have not picked this off. Okay. Dar told you guys ages ago, that clock back there, there's no batteries in it. And every time we do a live, we change the time to see if any of you guys will pick it off, and none of you have done it. None of you have picked it off. Obviously, you're not paying attention when Dar talks. I'm telling you. You guys got to up your game here. You really do. Apparently not Red Hawk. It looks like shelf. Looks like a shelf. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Rebel Yell in the midnight hour. Dar, we will change that in a few minutes. Okay, I don't have a clue. You change whatever you want. Africa Lynx. Okay, Bob, if you say so. The first slave owner in the U.S. was black. I heard something about that. I'm not 100% sure. I will always stand with Wilburner. You taught me so much through the Freedom Convoy, and I learned something new often from you. I can begin to thank you enough, Brian. One day we meet at a truck. Dude, well, one day we meet anywhere. If I'm in the area, you're in the area, figure it out. I talk to anybody. I'll meet anyone. I appreciate your kind words, though. Believe me, I'm not super smart. I'm not overly, I'm not a fucking genius or anything. I've just done a lot of shit. Literally, I've done a lot of stuff in my life. And I've been trucking a long, long time. And I've had a lot of good people pass on shit to me, and that's all I do. And a lot of this stuff I don't think of. It's just stuff that's been passed on to me, and I'm just passing it on to you. That's all it is. So I appreciate that, though. Thank you very much. Brian, I got the cam installed and the front of the motor back together, waiting for heads from Speed Shop. A couple more days, maybe next week I'll be done. Can't wait to see that, Bill. Can't wait to. Now, can you just do me a favor? One favor with it. Take your phone, put it on a stand, hit record, and I want you to record the first start. Because you'll never get that sound out of that motor ever again for the rest of your life. That first start when you've built a motor like that. If you can do that, that would be awesome. That would actually be really cool. Appreciate that. Frog legs, never had them. Will not. Stop, I'll buy you 50 gallons of fuel. Well, poutine fries and wine. Well, Tolga, that's what works for you, you go get it. It was a British who ended slavery. In fact, it was Yorkshireman William Wilberforce. Yorkshire. Fuck, man. How the fuck do you guys talk to each other? You need to pronounce the E in poutine. Poutine means basically whore. It's pronounced, if you are in Quebec, it is poutine. It's not poutine. If you go to Quebec, if you go to Montreal, Curtis, and order poutine, they're going to look at you like a monkey doing a math problem. Well, if I took Curtis to Montreal, they'd look at him like a monkey doing a math problem anyway. But no, it's poutine. Remember, in French, the E's don't do the same thing. You're talking English. Whore is puttano in Italian. There you go. Yo.
WC wants the link. Are you going to put it up tonight?
WC wants the link.
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust him. He's a sneaky fucker from Missouri. You want to drop it? Sure. All right. Darryl dropped the link for you. But I do have to make a quick stop. I'll be right back. sure. Okay. Just the link up. Got it? Sorry. Had we just had something come up, and Dar just got some news, so we're just need a second here. Damn. So yeah, here we go. The link is up. Vader, you got something you want to say, boy? Come on in and say it. Turn the volume up. Let's get this all. Fuck. Chaos, you were sitting there with your finger on the button, weren't you? Just. The link's only been up there for like 5 seconds.
Oh, that's funny.
There you go.
Well, I was trying to get you to see my my free membership super chat, and you apparently missed it or didn't get to it.
No, you know what it is? I'll tell you, and that's why I went.
You can't see it on StreamYard.
That's why I went to go get my phone. My phone was in the other room, right? It was over in the bedroom. I don't see them on StreamYard. Like when you guys do when you do super chats and when you do like your memberships and all that, it doesn't come up on StreamYard. Sorry, man.
You guys need to get a second monitor so you can have StreamYard, YouTube.
We are. Trust me, okay? Out in the garage, I was showing last week. I don't know if you were watching last week, but we were live last week. And Bill, let me see your face just quick.
The perks of cheap monitors.
Yeah, well, what I want to do is, and I'm going to do it, is like we're going to build sort of like not a little studio, but we're going to build something where we can do our lives from out there.
Yeah, obviously.
And okay, Don. Wheel burners are illegal? Really?
The beards. The beards. Okay.
But anyway, what I was saying, hold on, I just want to quickly do this, but we're gonna do sort of like make a little kind of studio out in the garage. We're gonna have it off the ground, and it's gonna be and we're gonna have
build a hunting blind in your garage.
Yeah, pretty much. You're gonna have a hunting blind in my garage, and we're gonna have the same thing, like, because right now, I've got the we've got the separate camera and the microphones and all the shit, but I'm doing all of this on a Mac, right, on a laptop, and it can be done.
A desktop would make it easy.
It would be a lot better if I had, like, say, a 24-inch monitor over here and a 24-inch monitor. So I'd have StreamYard on this screen here, and I'd have the YouTube over there with the comments and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, everybody have a good weekend.
I'm just running two 27s.
That's what I need. Like, my eyes, I have to basically, I literally have to stare at, like, the screen here because I can't read the comments. I have to flick on the comment to bring it up in the box so I can read the comments because there's too damn small here. My eyes are too big.
27's that sweet spot.
Yeah, okay.
Whether or not you want them curved or just regular flat, that's personal preference. But yeah, 27's is that sweet spot where it's big enough that you can get a good TV size screen, but also multitext.
Right. Yeah. 24, 27, it doesn't matter to me.
Hey, Daddy, I'll say it for you. I think what you're wanting is super chat so you get a new studio.
If you guys want to throw it, look out.
Well, I was using
Hey, busted!
Yeah. Crazy man from England. How the hell are you doing there, my man?
No, man, not bad, pal. Not bad.
So, dude, I do have to ask you, okay? You went off on a fucking tirade earlier today on your live.
Yeah.
Like all of that shit that you were talking about, like were you reading that, or was that just shit you have jammed up in your head?
That came out of my head.
Holy
It was
shit.
in my head.
Dude, you need to take a couple days off and empty your head. You got way too.
No, mate.
You and Chaos should get together and just empty your brains. Both of you are fucking got a head full of useless fucking information.
That wasn't useless, mate. That's absolutely relevant.
With me, I've got to have
shit that we're in at the moment.
or at least somebody to bounce conversation off to kind of bring back those memories of the useless knowledge. Because sitting there going down the road, I try to think of good ones, and I just draw a blank.
Dude, I can't. My hard drive is full. Like, it's full.
Well, I'm trying to pull back from like shit from like 5-10 years ago.
Oh,
yeah, well, that'll be shit. That'll be shit. I'm talking real history here. I was talking real history.
Yeah, I know, but
the foundation of our nations.
I know that, but what I'm saying
anarchy.
What I'm saying is, how do you know all
fucking rollers?
How does a truck driver from England, you sound when you talk about this shit, and you got so much conviction when you're talking about it. It sounds like you're fucking like university educated, like you're a goddamn fucking professor, and yet you're driving a truck. Why are you?
That's because I went to the King's School.
I don't give a fuck if you went to the King's Cross.
It was a grammar school where when you go to secondary school in England, you learn to be a carpenter or a fucking bricklayer or a truck driver.
We're gonna need those here in the States before too long.
Whereas when you go to grammar school in England, you learn to be a lawyer or a politician or one of those stations, a manager in a company.
Why are you driving a truck and not a politician?
Because my dad was a truck driver, and I was educated and then became a truck driver.
I got fuck. Thanks, Red Hawk. We're off to a rip-roaring start. That's awesome, man.
Check out
Well,
the
you're
merch.
better than me. I kind of put out my feeler for my little birthday fundraiser, and I ain't had
Oh!
to say F you.
Look at Donnie. Look at that. Look at that. He's wearing the merch. I'm not even wearing the merch,
Mine's on the truck.
dude. And Robert, what did we send you, Robert? Did you? We sent you some shit, did we not?
I got a wheel burner sticker and a pen.
A wheel burner stick. Okay, the decal. Yeah, you got to take that decal and put it on your truck.
Yeah, when I
It
get a
really does
fucking
fit
truck.
really good on
You got to
those.
get you got to get a fucking truck first, don't you?
Yeah. I'm not got a fucking job yet. I can't get. Thing is, that was my biggest mistake. I sold my truck,
I ain't begging her.
right? I thought I'll go company, and I can't go company because I can't fucking do what anybody tells me to do.
Well, dude,
I'm like, fuck off, cunt. You don't know what you're fucking talking about. How long you been doing this job? How old are you? Fucking 20. You
How can
you
somebody-
fucking trying
how
to
can
tell me
somebody
how
that's-
to do this fucking job, you fucking piece of shit.
how can somebody that's so goddamn smart not be working?
Fact.
Go get a fucking job. Why aren't you telling me they don't need truck drivers in England right now?
No, it's the industry is dead at the minute.
Is it?
It's absolutely dead.
Well, go teach
So
you.
I don't see. I sold my truck. I'm still like, did I do the right thing or not? Did I do it too early? Well, I did what I did, so fuck it. That's how it happened, and I went company, and I've had how many jobs have I had now? 1, 2, 3, 4. I've had 5 jobs in 2 years.
Yeah, you should definitely go buy another truck.
Yeah,
See how
I
that
know.
works out for you.
You can apply for a green card in California saying you're a teacher or a scholar. They'll probably bring you right over. And then you can just run
Yeah.
like everybody else.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Oh my God.
The fuck did he just say? We need to,
I can't.
Deep breaths.
I can't get into the country because I've got a criminal record.
I think
well,
that
no, they'll still let
They
you into
don't let me
California.
in. They won't let me in. I've
I'm
tried
pretty
it.
sure California
I've
would
tried
take you
America and
since
I've
you're
tried
applying as a
Canada.
teacher.
And both
Hey,
times,
If they let Red Hawk
uh,
in there, they'll let you in there.
what's it called now? What's it called now? You get a blue piece of paper, right? It's called your blue sheet, which goes to the embassy, like American embassy, Canadian embassy, and it comes from Scotland Yard in England, right? And it's your fucking criminal record from when you were 18 years old.
Well, dude, you don't have to worry about that. You can.
I've got a big file. I've got a big file. Like,
You just come into the United States. They're
been too violent to people.
Pretty sure you could probably get in if you're on like a vacation visa or something.
Oh yeah, I can get in on a vacation thing.
Well, that's how most of the rest of them
You
get
can
in.
actually. I could actually come for
Stay.
2 years on a visa, but I'm not allowed to work or be a citizen or a resident, whatever they call it.
That's
Have
why
you
it's like
tried?
California. They're paying the homeless $600 a month. You'll figure out something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can still come on a visa, but I can't become to be a resident, whatever it is.
What about Canada? You could probably get into Canada easier than get into the
No,
United States.
same thing. I was going to do ice roads fucking 10 years ago. And they won't let me in.
Yeah. Well, that fucking sucks balls. That sucks balls. What's going on with it? You around?
I can come for holiday
I think
on a
Bill
visa, and I can stay for 2 years, but I can't work or be a resident.
I came to this country when Home Depot had ladders on sale. I even used a coupon. What, you came to get a ladder and you never left? That's what it was.
Oh, it's horrible. That's
What? That's fucking funny as shit. I don't care who you are. That's hilarious. Fuck it, Reddick. Oh, fuck, Nick. How you doing, brother? How's Nick Earls in the house? Good to see you. Glad you're here. Fuck, I'm telling you. You guys gotta be nicer to Red Hawk. I swear to God, one day he's gonna fucking lose it. He's gonna walk into a Home Depot and absolutely come unglued, start throwing toilet seats around and start killing people. You gotta watch that boy. Jesus Christ. We got come on with it in here. I think he fell asleep. Whose dog?
That's mine. He's hearing dogs outside.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. So Nick's saying he's going to call me this week. Yeah, okay. If I don't answer it, don't worry. I'll call you back next month. I'm good for it.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Isn't there something called a decal?
It's a decal. You can call it either.
No, I mean, like, isn't there like another thing called a decal? It's isn't that what those diamond plates with the different like hazard thing? Aren't those called decals?
I don't know. I've always called like that thing that I sent Robert and the one that's on my truck and
I call it a sticker.
Yeah, well, yeah, you call it a sticker, but
there's a difference between a sticker and a decal. Decals are usually reusable. Stickers are.
But the decal you can take off. Like if you put that sticker on your car, Robert, you can peel it off after. If you sell the car, you can peel it off, and then just get the new car, wash the spot, and then put the decal back on. You can reuse it, right? But if stickers, once you put it on, it's pretty much fucked, right?
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah. I don't know. What do you guys want to call it? You call it a decal, a decal?
Well, Houdini in the chat said that I was right about the signage.
Well, Houdini's making fun of me. Obviously, I'm saying something fucking wrong, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I could have swore that I've heard of something called a decal, and I was like, were you talking about decals or the thing I was thinking they were?
What is it, Whittit? Is it a decal or a decal?
Decal. Decal.
It's okay. Well, you guys call it whatever you fucking. It's all
the American. Still got mine. Still got mine.
Yeah, you got it. All right. Put it on your car. Do you have a car?
Yeah. Well, it won't show up on my car. It's dark blue.
Oh, okay.
I need to put it on my stage freight truck when I'm doing Metallica tour.
Are you going to go do that or what?
I don't know. I'm still waiting to hear from them. They said it's late June to July, so.
Oh, I missed the Spitfire.
I'm still waiting.
Right on.
It's Metallica, right?
I'm just doing odd jobs at the minute, just to fucking.
He's going to go drive. He's going to go drive one of the trucks for the Metallica tour.
Yeah.
Like, tell me you wouldn't want to do that, Bill.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I would love to.
I'd be all over that.
Yeah.
Show me your face just for a second, bro.
The dude that got me decided to actually get my CDL.
Yeah, what?
I think it cut out.
Here we go.
Who we got coming in?
We got Spectre was coming in. I needed
it's me.
Yeah, I know. I needed to see your face though, because I'm not dealing with the bullshit.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. We're good. That's why I popped in.
Okay.
I'm going right through Spectreville right now.
Oh, are you?
Yes, sir.
Make sure you pay your dues. Spectre's right here. Drop him some money.
That's right.
I'll be by the QT in about 2 minutes.
Leave it at the counter.
I will.
Leave your quarter. That's all it's worth. Leave your quarter.
Are you now? I come in. I was hearing the discussion about the difference between a decal and decal. Are you talking about the replaceable placards?
No, Robert, hold it up. Okay. This is Like this is my decal, right? Or you guys call it a decal, but you can basically peel that off and put it, says wash the fairing of your truck, you put it on. And then if you want to sell your truck, you can peel that off and you can reuse that, right? It's a reusable decal.
Yes.
It's not a sticker.
Not
But
a sticker.
I call it
You stick it on. If you get a sticker, you stick it on. You can't take it back off.
I've never heard of a decal. That's like trying to make decal sound fancy.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like,
yeah. Look
always
at me.
always
Look
That's
at me.
only because you Americans can't pronounce your words properly.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Well, at least when we pronounce our words, they can understand what the hell we're saying.
we're from the Midwest. We call it a decal.
Yeah.
It's like saying aluminium, and then the Americans say aluminum.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't even pronounce that properly.
I mean, exactly. I'd call something. You know what? If I put that on my truck, the next move that's going to happen, I'm going to scratch and sniff it. That's exactly what's going to happen.
I went so far as to research aluminum, and I found out it was, I think, discovered in England, and they named it aluminium. So that
Aluminium.
That's how it's spelled.
It is
It's got an
correct.
eye in it. It's got a fucking eye in it. Where's the eye
Yeah.
gone? You say aluminum. Where's
we
the
don't
eye
have an
gone?
eye. We don't
Where
have the
is
eye.
the fucking? Where has the fucking eye gone? Is it a silent eye? No, it's not.
Don't-
It's aluminium, not
Don't blame us.
aluminum.
Somebody
Where's the
dropped the
fucking
eye.
eye gone?
You can't say it.
Oh my God. So does that mean now when Robert aggravates me, instead of saying "fuck the queen," I get to say "fuck the king"? Now is that what I get to
Yeah.
say?
Well, he did. Robert doesn't
Yeah,
like
you can say that. You can say
Robert doesn't like the king, so.
fucking Chuck the turd.
Fate didn't take his nap. He's making fun of me here. Nope. And
Right.
nope all night. There you go, Fate. Good job. Good job, Scott.
So what y'all been up to? What y'all talking about tonight? I ain't talking to none of y'all in quite some time. So,
Bro, we've let's see. We've covered the Confederate flag. We've covered. Holy Christ! What else have we covered? Everything. A lot of shit.
A bit of racism.
A little bit. Yeah, we covered racism, the races, the different.
Yeah, culture, and
We
not
covered,
fucking race and religion.
I hate I missed that conversation. That would have been a good conversation.
Yeah. It was. It's one of those conversations though that you got to know that somebody's going to be walking away with sore feelings.
Well, that's the truth, because that's what they kind of
Yeah,
brainwashed into us.
only because the pussies, they can't fucking handle the truth.
Yeah.
I think the younger generation doesn't care. They're more accepting of everybody, which is the way it
There's
should be.
always some fucking pussy that can't handle the truth.
Well, what was the truth that was said about the Confederate flag? I'd be interested if you don't mind me revisiting that.
Oh no, I
topic.
didn't speak about that one.
I don't think there was any truth that was revealed. It was just more about, okay, somebody was saying that they had, they still believe in the Confederate flag and what it originally stood for. And then it came along where a very small group of people decided that they didn't like, or they kind of tarnished it and made it into something else, made it racial, made it a hate, made it, they kind of tagged it with some of those areas, which then tarnished it for a lot of other people. And that's unfortunate. It didn't have to happen that way. That's not what that flag meant. That's not what that flag stood for. That's not what the flag was actually invented and created for, but it got dragged into that, and it was dragged into that by, people that really didn't know what the fuck they were talking about, much like myself on this matter, because I really don't know a whole lot. I do know what I've investigated myself and what I've checked and what I've talked to people about, but it's one of those areas where, it didn't have to happen the way it did.
Well,
the flow of the flag.
I wasn't.
The Confederates flew that flag before it became a racist flag.
Well,
before the Civil War ended, it became a racist flag because they used that flag to rally other Southerners.
I'll disagree.
To back the war.
Well, I lived in the South most of my youth. I was born in Ohio, and
Yeah.
lived most of my life in the South. And just history of the flag, it when you go all the way back, the total original purpose of that flag, it was no different than the Continental Army that had a battle flag, right? It was designed to represent the front line, right? In every battle, if you look at wars across during the Civil War, the Revolutionary War, the flags, the poor guy that had to carry the flag, he was representing the front line, right? He was always there. Boom.
He was the
him
first
and the
one to
little
take a bullet
yeah.
too.
Exactly. Him and the drummer boy. They represented the
Right.
front lines. Now, over time, that flag became the supposed flag, like the Capitol flag, like our U.S. flag, right? It became that, just like the North had the bicentennial flag. That's the one that had the circle stars before it became the stars and bars and stuff. And
Right.
then a lot of people, I mean, look, there's even African American and color, whatever you want to call it. I just say African American soldiers that still have that flag. The whole racist thing, that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit that people started doing to have something to throw at a wall and have it stick. That flag has never been racist. It was organizations like the KKK, and other organizations that tried to adopt it for something to represent them. That flag has never been racist. You've got, I mean, because they'll try to say it's racist. No, it's not. Because some of the most savage slave owners in the South were African American. They were buying their own people. I mean, it's well documented.
Some of the biggest plantations were owned by blacks.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely.
To
So,
me-
and that's
to
what I'm
me
saying is, racism is nothing but a cultural thing that exists only because people keep talking about it. That's not the reality. It really isn't.
To
You
me,
know,
that
the
Confederate flag represents the South, and that's it. You don't
The
That's
read
it.
anything
Confederate
else into
flag
it.
is actually just a copy of the original 13 colony flag, just reorganized. That's why there's 13
Well, it-
stars, 13 stripes.
It even
just in
goes
a
further.
circle.
Yeah. Well, that's the same thing as the bicentennial flag. That's what the bicentennial flag was.
Yeah, they
It was-
just reconfigured it to
Yeah.
make it their own because it's literally
It's
just
a British flag.
Correct.
It's the
recreation.
cross
of
of
that.
St Andrew.
Yeah.
It's the cross of St Andrew, and it's the Royal Ensign mixed together
Right. So think about this, Spectre. Okay.
with the 13 stars in it.
Think about this, Spectre. With what that flag has been dragged through and where it stands today. Obviously, they don't fly it. It's not on any flagpoles unless it's on your personal property, but you don't see it on any of the government buildings or anything anymore.
Yeah,
Just
you
think
see
about
it down
this.
in Georgia.
Right.
Think about the import. This is very, very important. Okay, this is very important, and we discussed this earlier. The seriousness and the importance of this flag. There would be no Dukes of Hazzard, which means there would be no Daisy Duke.
No, there wouldn't. And that'd be a
You would have
shame,
no
man.
General Lee. You
Dude,
would
that
have
was
no
my
General
first
Lee,
crush.
and that flag would not be on that car. And if that be
Nope.
the case, you'd have no show, and there'd be no Daisy Duke.
No, there
Just two
wouldn't.
good old
And-
boys.
And that's a shame.
Never
Daisy
made
Duke
no
was my
harm.
first crush, man. That was my first
Dude,
crush right there.
She was a lot of us.
First crush.
She was a lot of us.
Yeah.
That's what-
But I mean, but
She was the first
see-
one to have her legs insured for $1 million or something like that.
exactly. But look, but you could actually go even more serious than this, which is I think is a damn shame going forward, is the fact that because of the time we live in and with the people's mindset now, that items like that from our history are being removed or forced to be taken down. I mean, it's almost because here's the thing: if you have nothing to show for the past, whether it's good or bad, you're bound and determined to repeat it.
Repeat
You're
it
bound
again.
to-
Right.
You're going to repeat it.
If
know,
you
like-
erase history, you have nothing to learn from. If you have nothing to learn
Correct.
from, you're going to repeat the same mistakes, right?
Yep.
And,
And-
as far as that flag is, they're trying to erase that from history.
Oh, they're trying to
It is-
relate. They're trying to rewrite history, period. And it's like, it goes back to that thing of like, because here, this is a fact too. If you go back in our history, America's history, back from Britain to when we got rid of the pussies, Sorry, Robert, but they every time every time that there's been a war on American soil has always been during a time of radical change to our Constitution at the time. Every war has been and I'm sorry, but they're erasing history. They're erasing things from history as reminders of, okay, this was a bad time. We made this was a hard time for our country, but we learned from it. This is a reminder. You don't have that, and it's getting real iffy down here in the States with constitutional rights and shit. That there is bound and determined to be another war within this country.
Okay, here, let me ask you this. With you saying that, you guys have your Constitution, and it is fair. How long before somebody actually has the balls or some group has the gonads to try to change that or rewrite it?
They already have it. It already started with the Black Lives Matter movement. That's it. That start. Legitimately, I firmly believe that was the first step, because there are Americans out here that will not let that happen again. They won't let it happen again. There's groups running around that it's not going to. The United States has got the largest unconscripted military in the world, and the thing is they all have different feelings towards rights and stuff, but you have many of us that are very diehard to protect our constitutional rights. That's it. It's going to happen, my man. I mean, it will. It may not be in my lifetime, but it will happen probably in my child or my grandchildren's life.
Would you not think if there's going to be like a major change to your Constitution like that, it's going to have to come through a war?
Oh, I would.
There's going to have to be a war.
Yeah,
because
it's going to have to be.
Too many are going to say no, and there's going to be too many. I know it's going to come to arms.
Yeah, it is. It just will. It just will. Every time in our history that there's been a major change to our Constitution has resulted in a war.
Wow. I wonder if that'll bring freight rates up.
It could.
It could. I'm going to run firearms for the South.
Yep, it could. Who knows? Who knows, man? We could all be riding around for different parts of the country or whatever. Fuck it. I'm out here to make a buck.
You know what? I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if it happened again. I don't know if you'd see a north and a south. You're more likely to see an east and a west.
It all goes back to Britain.
Oh, fuck Britain.
Your fucking Constitution is a British Constitution.
Except we don't have
back to Britain. We don't have a written Constitution in this country. We've got the Magna Carta and we've got our own Bill of Rights. Right? But it's not all together in one document. Right?
Well,
because in Britain, right, it was recognised that every man, right, is inalienable God-given right to shelter, food, and everything, and all the other things that humans should have to exist. And nobody can take that away from you. And that is recognised in British law.
They say that.
So when you got King John taxing everybody, right, the barons at the time, and even where I live, Pontefract Castle, it was owned by a Norman baron called De Lacy, and King John confiscated it from him. And De Lacy was one of the barons that actually went to war with the king. He actually rallied the other barons to raise an army to fight the king. Because they said, what are you doing, fucking taxing us? You fucking and confiscating property. So the British went to war with the king. And they made the fucking king sign the Magna Carta. Now, let's take this to the British colonies in America. And the King fucking George is doing exactly the same thing to the American colonies. And they said to the king, hang on a minute, we haven't got any representation in Parliament. You can't fucking tax us. Because in Magna Carta, there's no fucking taxation without representation.
Correct.
Right? So we need to we have to have a contingent in your fucking Westminster. And the king said no. So fucking America, so British colonies in America say, well, he can fuck off for all his tea at fucking harbour.
Yeah, well, that's like I said. I mean, yeah, that was one of the wars where we, you know, our Constitution came out of that.
Yeah, because that's the British way. We don't
Yeah.
fucking, we're anarchists. We're anarchists. We have no rulers. We only have, you can only be a ruler if we let you be one.
Yeah. Yep. And then, of course, you had the Revolutionary War, and then you had the civil. You know, once again, there was another change to the Constitution. You know, the Constitution changed during the Civil War, and then, like, we're due. We, as a country, we are due. We're due.
But your Constitution, the American Constitution doesn't apply to the American people. It
No, it
applies
does
to
not.
those that want to take office to govern you.
Jesus.
Well, it's
You
yeah.
understand that?
You've spent
It's not
no,
a fucking rule for the people. There's no rules against the people. That's how it is in England. There's no rules against the people. You can do what you want as long as you're not breaking any laws, as in you're causing harm or loss, stealing or killing.
Well, and see, that's the thing that a lot of people don't know as well, or have lost the basis of. Like, here's one word that gets thrown around down here a lot, especially these days, and you're hearing it more and more in a lot of politicians. Democracy. We're not a democratic country. All right.
No,
Democracy. Democracy is a cunt hair away from communism. What the United States is we are a constitutional republic. That's what we are. We're a constitutional republic, and Robert's right. The Constitution was written to keep government in place. That's what it was meant for. It wasn't meant to govern the people. It was meant to govern the government. That's why there's so much. That's why I say we're due, because the government is really pushing that overstep boundary, and that's why it really is.
But does the U.S. government not realize that pushing on the people like that the pushback coming back from the people is going to be far greater than they can.
Brian, what's Canada?
What?
No.
What's Canada? A democracy?
Yeah, to a degree, yeah.
Canada is a constitutional monarchy. Same as England, Britain. You're not a democracy.
Repeat after
You're
me.
a constitutional monarchy, because you've still got fucking sausage fingers as king. And a privy council.
But it's not recognized, Robert.
Deals with the king.
Hold on, Robert. It's not recognized. There's not a single Canadian that lives in Canada that recognizes any kind of authority, power, or any kind of anything from England. None of us would recognize if the King of England came to King Turd comes to Canada and wants us all bowing and kissing his fucking ring. Most of us would tell him to go fuck himself.
Yeah, but you don't kiss the ring. You kiss the ring of the king. I won't kiss his fucking. Well, I kiss his fucking ring.
No, but what I'm saying, Robert,
no, I won't kiss the. I won't bow to a king that isn't a champion for freedom.
Well, he's not. But
the king of England, back in the day, the king of England was the champion of the people. He was the toughest warrior, and they didn't pick the toughest warrior. They picked the toughest who had and the smartest, who had the intellect.
Right.
So he had intellect and he was tough, right? And he led the army into battle. It was for king and country, and you give your allegiance to the king because he was protecting
history books. I know how that works. Yeah,
he was protecting the estates and the rights of the people against foreign invaders.
Right.
Right, he was the toughest and the most.
What I'm trying to say to you is it's not recognized in Canada.
But
no
for
British.
Last 1,000 years? Yeah,
no
for the last 1,000 years we had a king that's like that.
No British anything is recognized in Canada. Nothing is recognized in Canada, dude. We're taking the British monarchy off our money because it's just not recognized anymore as something that we want to be established or be associated with. So
It's still there, though. It's still hot.
Explain this to me, Brian, because I don't understand this about the people of Canada. How can the people of Canada allow its government to dictate the way they're dictating? I mean, y'all live like, to me, like a fucking slave, man. Like y'all have no rights. Like seriously.
Spectre, we are that far away from being slaves in Canada right now.
Well, that's what I had a rant about earlier.
There's five. I think there's 4 or 5 other fellow Canadians in the chats right now, and they'll all say, "Yeah, it's Canada." What it is right now, and this is what's been going on. Canada has been slowly turning itself into, I don't know what you want to call it, short of a communist state. Okay, they're slowly with the liberal government. It's all being done at the liberal government level. Okay, so our government is turning over our rights as a country to other countries or to other forums, the WEF, the World Economic Forum. Okay,
right.
Canada has pretty much turned over all of its rights and obligations and everything that we are as a country to the WEF. So that means all of our fuel, our food reserves, all of our military, all of our government outstanding, all of it is now. We have a prime minister that's running the country, but he's a puppet. The WEF is running Canada right now. And it's only a matter of time before the trickle down and it starts going into the US, because your Democratic president is the same as our liberal prime minister.
It just drives me crazy. Like, I think the biggest thing that got me was I was actually reading up, I guess y'all just passed another major gun law. I was reading about that. And I'm like, you, when I say you, I mean you as a people up there, you guys don't even have the ability to defend yourselves. You have no, they've completely taken that away from you.
Okay. Now, hold on. You're sorry, Bill. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Wheelburner, if you become a slave, that means you're for sale. How much will you cost?
You can't afford me, buddy. You can't afford me. But to get back to you, Spectre. Yes. Okay. They just passed the most aggressive gun law in Canada.
Yeah.
So
real aggressive.
They outlawed and banned all handguns. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I meant to do it last week and I didn't, but I should have. I think there's now 6. There's only 6 rifles that are now allowed to be used for hunting.
Right.
Whereas you were allowed to have a multitude before, right? As a gun owner.
Right.
Now they're down to 6. They've narrowed it down to 6. Semi-auto and auto are off the table. Everything pretty much has to be damn near bolt action, Spectre.
Single shot.
Single shot. Everything is single shot. Exactly.
Yep.
Okay. And that's what they've done. Now, by me saying that, the government has gone out and they have now collected all of these guns, right? So they've taken all of these guns out of our hands. That doesn't mean we don't have guns. Okay. And I said this last week. Just because the government made the law and they took our guns doesn't mean we just turned around and gave them all in. Right?
That's stupid, man.
How many guns can you lose on a hunting trip? Oh, I lost that one. I lost that one in a fucking boating accident. Just because we're not supposed to have them doesn't mean we don't. Okay. And people forget that about Canadians. Yeah, they're nice. Yeah, they say A. Yeah, we love Tim Hortons. You fucking come up my driveway and come into my house, you're going out with fucking rounds in your ass, and there's no two ways about it. I'm not supposed to have it, but you come into my house, you're gonna fucking know I got them. Period.
Right. I think the thing that really confuses me is that how can the people allow that to be voted in though? I mean, that's like y'all's leaders are like fucking stupid in my opinion. That's the easiest.
No, well, actually, what they are is they're sneaky, and this is what they've done. They did this on 2 major bills. Okay, they did this on 2 major bills. I think they did it on C-13 and one of the other bills. But what they do is, much like the U.S., if they want a bill to pass, it has to go through the House, right? Or it has to go through the House of Commons, and it has to go through certain, voting and da. And you have to have so many people within the party in power to vote aye, yay, or nay, and then it goes through and then it moves along to the next one. The only difference is in our country, the prime minister doesn't have the right to veto any bill, where your president does. Right? It can go right to the end of the line, and the president can go stamp no, and that's it.
Yeah, the king can.
Okay, well, fuck the king. He's not involved in this situation.
Well, he is.
Hold on, Robert. Hold on. You can talk about your king in a minute. I'm talking.
That's your king as well. Fuck off.
Hold on. Right now, so what has happened, and
Did
this
we
is what
lose
they've done. This is what they've done twice now. They've done this to us twice. They'll call for they're going to say, okay, we're going to have a reading and we're going to bring this bill across we want to propose this bill and we're going to bring it in. And then what they'll do is they'll do it at fucking 2:00 in the morning.
Right.
No politics runs it. No political forums run at 2:00 in the morning. But what a party will do is they'll all wake up at 2:00 in the morning. They'll go into the House of Commons. They'll all fucking vote on a fucking bill at 2:00 in the morning when none of the opposing parties are available or alive. And it's done. It's always done sort of like in a very sly and coy manner. And it's been done twice now, and both those bills went through. And we, the people, didn't even know about it till the next morning. We didn't fucking have a clue if it went through. We didn't have, because we as the people have a right to oppose. We have a voice. We're allowed to say, that's why there's a procedure. That's why there's certain things in place to prevent shit like this. Now the government is actually going behind our backs and they're being sneaky about 2:00 in the morning. Well, dude, I was in bed at fucking 11. They called this thing at midnight. The bill got passed at 2 a.m. And at 6:30, when I woke up the next morning, I found out that all of a sudden, certain laws had changed, that they don't need a warrant to arrest me. I don't have to be in Canada. I don't have to be charged to be arrested. They can arrest me and hold me without charging me for anything. If I have a Canadian flag and they deem that I'm using that flag, for example, like in the convoy, it's representing. Yeah, exactly. It's not representing Canada. It's representing something. They can arrest me and hold me, and they can take all of this got written into one big package, and that bill got passed, and we didn't know about it till fucking 6:30 the next morning. Now, are you saying our government's stupid? No, they're not stupid. They fucking pulled one on us. We, the people, are stupid. Why? Because this is what's happened in Canada. They slide these little ones through. If they tried to push a big bill with 15 different things on it and they tried to push it through, we're going to go, absolutely not. Fuck that. It'll stop. It'll never go anywhere. But what they're going to do is they're going to push one little bill through, and we're going to sit there and go, oh, that's not bad. Okay, we can live with that. That's yeah. And then, a couple of weeks later, they'll slip another little bill through. Oh, this is for your right to protect. This is to protect you from this and this and this, and it's for your rights. And then they slip it. After about a year or 2 years with this government and party, they've slipped through 24 different bills. Now, if you take all those 24 bills and you put those together, that's that one big bill that we all would have went, absolutely not. They just did it in piecemeal, and they snuck it by us, right? They did it in small little bits and pieces, and we didn't pick it off. So, well, some of us did, and the ones of us that opened our mouths, we were terrorists.
Yeah,
they were labeled exactly. They were labeled terrorists. They were labeled problematic. They were labeled, and they went to fucking jail.
It's crazy.
That's how a lot of shit in this country went south in the last 3 years. 4 years.
Same here, mate. Same here.
And yep. People, like I said, people have gone, oh, the government's stupid. Our government is not fucking stupid. Why? Because our government is being led by other parties and other powers, if you want to call it. Okay.
Yeah. World Economic Forum, World Health Organization, fucking United Nations.
The WEF is a joke. The WEF.
All those alphabet organizations are a joke. The WEF, the fucking, what is it? The WHO.
They're all a joke. They're fucking calling the shots in a minute.
But you got to realize all of them. If you look at all of these organizations, all of these none of these organizations can run without money.
No.
Okay. It doesn't matter how much fucking influence a person has. If they don't have the money, okay, then the organization is moot.
Yeah.
Now, so look at the organization or look at the money structure of all of these big organizations.
Yep.
Where's this money coming from? Well, you can track.
Britain.
Hold on, you can track it back down to what's the first one there, Robert? Black what? What's the first big money? Come on, you guys all come on. Am I the only one here that fucking knows this shit? Come on.
BlackRock.
BlackRock. BlackRock. And then what's the next biggest one?
Vanguard.
Citadel.
Vanguard.
Okay, and then what was that, Robert?
Vanguard.
Vanguard. Very good. Okay, now BlackRock and Vanguard alone account for over 70% of all of the fucking money for all of the organizations.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's your money. And that's who's pulling the strings. Now, break it down even farther and look who's running BlackRock. Who's running Vanguard? Who are the primary power people involved?
Yeah.
You can break this down to a basic one-step level, and you're going to
60%.
You're going to come down to 5 or 6 different names, and they're running all of it.
60% of the shareholders in Vanguard are anonymous.
You're right.
You don't know who they are.
Oh, you're on. Sorry.
Man. Never get married. Jesus.
Hey,
You don't
Brian.
know who they are.
Hey guys, thanks for
You guys,
having me on there.
hey, Influence, you need a few minutes to work this shit out, or are you all good?
No, sorry, guys.
But
Cheers,
basically, Spectre, that's how and why Canada right now is in the condition it's in. I'm begging for Alberta to separate. I'm begging for certain things in my own country to fucking
You'll have a
happen.
lot of fucking people moving to Alberta if they do.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be going.
Oh no.
Get me in a shack in woods.
Yeah, it is very important that when you're talking about this kind of stuff that you look down or you look at who and where the money is. It's all about the money, right? It's always about the money.
What if we're coming down your driveway with a basket full of cigars and Dr. Pepper?
Well, now you're talking something a little different. A basket full of cigars and some Dr. Pepper. Well, it all depends on what you want, right? If you're
Are they
coming
Cuban or Dominican? I don't know.
if you're coming for my wife and kids, I don't know. I gotta say no. But if with it, if you're coming, you want a couple of cats and maybe a Honda Civic, fuck, knock yourself out. It's all yours. I got no problem with that at all, man. So, Influence, I'm going to assume that you're Canadian, right?
Yeah, man, I'm in the Hamilton.
Are you? Okay.
We talked before. I talked to you in the chat and stuff.
Yeah.
Give me a
I-
ranch. I'm not why you give me a ranch.
I've got enough Canadians. I just got to keep track of. I don't write down anything, right? So it's not like I'm going to write down where you're from.
I didn't go to the convoy, but I shared the shit out of everything that was from there, and I watched everything. Because I had the time to go watch everybody that was watching it live.
Yeah.
I was sharing the shit out of everything, fucking as much as I could on as many platforms as I could.
Right.
That's the best I could do. If I hadn't went there, I would have went to jail or been dead. Like one of the two.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have ended well for me.
No, you know what? I felt the same way, but for some reason or another, I was really at peace. I thought it was going to be amped up and high energy, and there was going to be a lot of people, running around, and it wasn't. There was some amped up, and there was a little bit of, but it wasn't what I was expecting it to be. A fucking riot and this and. It was really, really. I think the way that convoy was done, a lot of people and organizations can learn.
Well, yeah,
they can learn lessons.
No, they made a fool of the government because the logistics of it just made a fool of the government can't run a lemonade stand and don't try to do that. We fed the, well, not we. They fed the homeless, and the Mennonites came out and fed people. It's like, settle down, man. Like Canadian people are more than capable of looking after ourselves. We don't.
Yeah.
Need
We were labeled terrorists, and we were violent. Violent. I'm walking down the street and a fucking hockey game broke out. Yeah, that's violent. That's good old Canadian violence. A fucking hockey game broke out in the middle of Wellington, right in the intersection of Wellington, right in front of the Parliament buildings. 200 yards south of that, there was bouncy castles. Yeah, we were invading. The fucking kids were invading Ottawa with bouncy castles. It's like, oh, come on.
Mayhem. I tell you.
Yeah, it's chaos everywhere. Bouncy castles and hockey pucks. It's chaos. Yeah.
Now they're having Rolling Thunder, I think, on June 17th, I heard. Rolling Thunder.
Where's that rolling from? Where's that going from? From where to where?
I'm not sure where it's starting from. Probably from everywhere, because people are going to be coming from everywhere. But it's going to Ottawa, and it's Rolling Thunder. I think it's June 17th. I do believe. I could be wrong.
Look that up.
I should probably look it up before I fucking say that.
Yeah, no, easy with the face. I'm sitting
No,
here
but I
trying
looked it up before. I know, but I'm forgetful. I think it's June 17th. Yes.
On my laptop, I can search it.
Listen, stop chirping back behind me.
I was trying to be helpful.
You're not helping.
Really? I was going to look it up for you, asshole.
Can you? Stop calling me names, man. Just go. If you're going to look it up. What
down at the convoy, they were handing out free food. That's what we call violent.
Amazing.
That's why I was like, that's why I didn't understand about y'all's government. I was like, man, it's like
and crime went down. Like 90%, I think crime went down. Like the stats were from what.
Ladies were making muffins and had kitchen full of muffins.
The crime went down 90%. The crackheads were well fed, so they didn't have to fucking steal.
Oh yeah.
There's that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the problem down here in the States is that, like, I try not to get involved in this crap hardly anymore, but it's gotten to a point where you almost can't avoid it because
they won't leave you alone.
Right. It's like this new generation, right? And I was thinking, me and my wife were talking about that. I was like, I'm damn near 50 fucking years old, right? And I'm sitting here and I think back to when I was a teenager and a younger adult, and even going through school, it's like so much has changed to where this new generation and people coming up have like really don't realize what they're doing. Like I said, the United States, we are not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. The federal government's entire fucking role is to do nothing but is to conduct foreign affairs. That's it. We are to be governed by our own state constitution and laws. That's why we're a constitutional republic.
Soft corners and round edges.
Yeah. Yes, but because everybody wants the government to hand them something or the government to come run to their fucking aid, that's why the federal government is really towing that line of overstepping their bounds. That's why I said is we are fucking due. This country is due a fucking internal war that's gonna completely change the Constitution again.
Right. So Robert, let me ask you a question, Robert. Canada is set up very much like the U.S. We don't have as many states, but our provinces are the same as the U.S. states, right? We've got, and each province has its own governing body, right? We have provincial legislature, we have provincial governments. So, would you say that based on the way Spectre just described the way the U.S. is supposed to be run, that Canada is supposed to be run the same way, where each one of our provincial states is supposed to govern us, and we're supposed to be governed by the provincial level, not the federal level?
For certain things.
You're muted, Robert. Robert, you're muted.
No, it's...
For healthcare, it's provincial.
Yeah, we need more provincial and states' rights. States should have more rights than provincial. Provinces should have more provincial rights, right? I think.
See, because I mean, here's a simple example of that. Is like, for instance, like I mean, I'll just use this industry specific. One thing a lot of people seem to forget is that the trucking industry in the United States, we are federally mandated, but we are governed by each different state.
So are we.
Yes.
So is Canada. So is
Now,
Canada.
that's a simple. That's a very exactly. That's a very simple reason for why I say is that the federal government is really toned. That's a very small but simple thing. I mean, you could look at guns rights. Each state has a different law for guns. Like the state of New York. State of New York's got some terrible fucking gun laws. It's the state of Missouri. Missouri is a fucking constitutional carry state. I could walk around public all day long with my fucking pistol openly on my side, and there ain't a fucking thing you can do about it.
Nice.
You just can't. You know, that's what I'm saying. But the federal government, the federal government does that shit. You know, I mean, that's what I'm saying is our federal government really is towing that line.
Who do you think should be running that? For example, should it be mandated at the state level or the federal level for the gun law?
No.
Across the country, or should it be every state has a different law?
What are you talking about? Gun laws? You talking about laws in general? I fully support the fact that each state should govern themselves. That's the way we were designed.
Yeah.
That is the way we are designed. We don't fucking operate well when you have the federal government. Then you become what's the word? You don't become communist. You become communist when you have one rule.
We're fucking
just do.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. The problem we've got right
now. And that's one of the reasons that America was so great as far as originally, because if you don't like the way that your state is being governed where you live, you have the right to fucking move.
Yeah.
You know,
well, you
that's
still
why.
have that right, do you not?
Well, yeah, you do have that right, but that's what I'm saying is the American people as a whole are allowing the federal government to start to rule as a whole, and we've got some real, and I hate to say it, we have some really weak governors in this country who are allowing it to fucking happen.
Because they're puppets.
Okay, and if you look at why they're allowing certain things to happen. What is it that's allowing? Why are they allowing certain things to happen?
It's money. It's all money. It's all money.
Very good.
Yeah, it's all money.
So it doesn't matter whether it's Canada, U.S., Mexico, fucking whatever. The end result is the money is gonna talk. The money is gonna make the rules. The money is gonna dictate the laws. The money is gonna put the people in the people, or whether the right people or the wrong people. The money is gonna put them in power.
Yeah. Look, my wife thought I was joking. My wife, and I thought I'd never ever say this, but we got to talking about it, and we were having I'll just say we were having a very spirited prayer meeting, right? We were having a spirited prayer meeting, and I told her, I said, listen, I said, if this country keeps going the way it's going, by the time I'm fucking 60 years old, I will move to fucking somewhere like Africa or somewhere to where I can just be left the fuck alone. Just give me a plot of land somewhere and leave me the fuck alone.
You know where you want to go?
They won't leave you alone, though. They won't. You can go to the middle of nowhere. They won't leave you alone.
You want to go to Australia?
They won't.
Washington.
Yeah.
Let me tell you now, Washington D.C. is not in America.
It doesn't matter where you go. Doesn't matter. You can go to Well, I wouldn't go to
Washington D.C. is not in America.
The spiders in Australia are massive. I would never move there.
It is on its own turf.
Fuck that shit. I'm not going.
London, the city of London is not in England.
Yeah.
The city of London is not in England. It's on its own turf.
So
the Bank for International Settlements is not in Switzerland.
Right.
It's on its own turf.
I guess the biggest thing
is not in Italy. It's on its own turf.
Well, I mean,
and you understand now these powers that run the world, the Vatican, that's not in Italy, the City of London, that's not in England,
it's the fucking
Washington D.C., that's not in America, the Bank for International Settlements, that's not in Switzerland. They're all on their own turf. They're principalities.
When a Rothschild can go like this to the fucking
Where the people that rule the world,
in the chest
who run
like
the world,
who's fucking running the show.
get us to be citizens, of the UK, the United Kingdom. I'm not a fucking citizen of United Kingdom. I'm fucking English.
I can't stand the monarchy.
You understand that? But what they do is they take us off. They take us from our own country and to be a citizen of their principality, the City of London, the Crown Corporation, or the Washington DC, or
The Fiji Islands.
Bank
where
of
you-
International Settlements that runs all the money.
The monarchy.
It's not. None of it is in our countries. None of the. They've all got diplomatic immunity
I think
Yeah,
it's all
from our jurisdictions to say, hang on a minute, fucking cunt, you're breaking laws of our country. Well, no, we're not, because we've got diplomatic immunity. We're in Washington DC or City of London,
Who's on
or
the
Bank
FC
of
list?
International Settlements, or International Monetary Fund,
Is that Prince
or
Andrew?
World Health Organization. They've got fucking diplomatic immunity. World Economic Forum got fucking diplomatic immunity
It's crazy.
because they're running the fucking world and they're breaking the laws.
That reminds me of that movie.
And there's
Diplomatic
fuck all we can
immunity.
do about it.
Fucking Lethal Weapon, right? That was Lethal Weapon.
in the ship container, in the bottom of the ship. Diplomatic immunity.
Diplomatic immunity.
It's just
Yeah.
been revoked. Bow.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. I don't know. It's just like just in my short lifetime. Like I said, damn, I'll be 47 years old this year. It's like from the time that I became conscious and aware of how things work and started to understand it in that short amount of time. It's like what in the fuck is going on?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
heavy.
you don't want to be
Heavy.
I don't want to be a citizen of
It's
the
fucking
United
heavy, man.
Kingdom because that's not a
Can't
fucking
unsee
country.
it, right?
You don't want to be a citizen of the United States of America because that's not a fucking country. It's
Despite
a
all
fucking
your
principality
Rage,
under
you are
fucking
still
legal
just a
principality
back
under
end.
fucking jurisdiction
Cage.
of a bunch of bastards.
Yeah,
Bloody bastards.
it's crazy, man. Fucking nuts. What'd Brian do? Did he disappear?
But once you get red pilled, you can't unred pill yourself, right?
Still,
Exactly. You can't unred pill yourself. You damn sure can't. Nope.
Well, there's a bunch of fucking families, and that includes our fucking royal family, right? The fucking Habsburgs and the Hanovers and the
The
fucking
inbred bastards, yeah.
Well, see, here's one of the
fucking,
problems.
what they call them,
No,
fucking
see, Robert. I'm
fucking-
gonna blame England or the UK for this one right here because we've got a guy in our country who completely took advantage of that British bank over there, fucking George Soros. He literally robbed you motherfuckers, and now that sumbitch is over here raising all
they
sorts
did.
of hell with his fucking money.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
fucking,
Buying
uh,
prosecutors and
Fucking
shit.
Gordon Brown
Yeah.
was fucking selling gold off, wasn't it?
No, but
Gordon
the
Brown was selling
prosecutors
gold.
bought off and bought
Fucking George Soros fucking minted on it.
Literally, literally robbed the fucking British bank
When is
over
the
there. The Fed.
accountability? Where's
Fucking-
the? I don't see any accountability. When's the accountability? Is the pendulum gonna fucking swing back soon? I want to fucking see it swing soon, please.
See, and that's why I say is that we're due for a civil war. That's why I say that. I say
Well,
that
the pendulum's
that
fucking
is when
coming
that
back.
pendulum is going to hit. Yep.
No, but what's it gonna
But
be
who's
like?
fighting, Spectre?
What's that?
Who's fighting? You're saying we're going to be due for you guys are due for a civil war. And let's face it, I'll be honest with you. If the U.S. goes into a civil war, there's a civil war in the U.S. Some way, some shape or form, Canada's going to be involved.
Who do I think would be fighting it? It would be the American people. Look, there was all right. Like I said, the United States has the largest unconscripted military in the fucking world, right?
Right.
A Japanese admiral said it best. There's
I
a
agree.
reason we don't
Right.
invade because behind every blade of grass there's a fucking weapon. That's
Right.
because of our veterans and militia and all that stuff. If and when that does happen, which I do believe it will happen, that's exactly who's going to be fighting it. It's going to be the veterans. It's going to be the civilians. It's going to be the militias. It's huge, dude. Like our veteran force is like bigger than our actual active duty force. That's
Yeah.
just a fact.
No.
And
The
they're
only-
very
the-
pissed off right now. They're
Yes,
very
and the
pissed
only
off right now.
and the only yes, exactly. And I'll tell you right now, here's the only difference
You're
between
asking
our
for more than
actual
we can give.
yeah. Here's the actual this is the only difference between our veteran force, right? I'll just say our unconscripted military and our active duty military is the size of the weaponry. That's the only difference. The only difference. The active
Well,
duty's got fucking tanks and all that shit. We don't have that. But that's not to say we don't have as many firearms, and that's where it would be
Right.
fought.
Well, you've got more. It's been proven that
Oh,
there's
yeah.
more weapons in the hands of the private citizens than there is in the U.S. military.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
If
Absolutely.
you have a decent battalion that knows what the fuck they're doing, and they got drone technology, some drone technology,
And that's the
they
problem.
They can be pretty productive. They can take out some
Yes.
pretty decent
That's
shit.
And that's why I say is if and when that war does happen,
Well,
I'm
what's
not going to say
happening in
that
Ukraine. People should be paying attention to what's happening in Ukraine right now. Very, very close attention. And I've been following it since 2014, and what's happening over there is a goddamn fucking shame, as far as I'm concerned. It is. It fucking breaks my heart to watch it, man.
Well, I hate the fact that so many
you should pay
people are
attention
dying.
because that I think is going to happen here.
Oh yeah, well what you're seeing is you're seeing the will of the people. You're seeing the will of the people. That's exactly what you're seeing. Look, everybody knows Russia outpowers Ukraine dramatically. They just do.
Well, you don't
But
know Russia.
what's winning that? Yeah,
It's stupid.
what's winning that war is the people, the will of the people. They're like, fuck you, we're not giving it up. So, and I commend them.
How about don't go to war with Russia? Like, it's poking the bear. It's a reason. Like, it's an expression. Don't poke the bear.
What's the country where the citizens don't complain about the government? That's the one we need to move to.
I don't think
Yeah,
there
good
is
luck,
one, is
good
there?
luck finding one, with it. Good luck finding one.
Yeah.
You know,
You can live in
Everybody-
Russia and complain about the government, and they won't. No, man, Russia's not as. It's not the old Russia that it used to be. They're not anymore, man. They're not like
well,
that.
they're fucking broke right now.
They're
They're
fucked. No, they're not. They're doing quite well, actually. They're making more money off. We fucked up with all these sanctions and shit. We totally fucked up.
You think so?
Because like
Yeah,
because
now
they
have the
control.
petrodollar. Now
Yeah, they have. Yeah,
now
the
everybody's
petrodollar
buying
took
oil
off.
of these guys and not us.
Yep.
It's
That's why the oil's fluctuating as much as
sanctions
it is.
backfired.
Yep.
Sanctions backfired, man.
Basically, what happened is we put the sanctions against Russia. So Russia said, okay, we're going to start charging China more for their fucking oil that they get from us. It backfired completely.
Yeah, it's dumb. Like, it's almost like our leaders that are in charge right now are doing everything possible to fucking fuck things up, and they're doing it fucking great.
They don't
You
care about
found
anything.
the UK?
They don't care anything but for money, and they literally sell off pieces of our country to foreign countries. It's ridiculous.
Oh,
My God, man, it's like the most incompetent fucking. Like, you can't make this shit up.
right now, pretty much the whole province of British Columbia has been sold off to China.
Well,
Right.
see, you bring up another good point.
That's since the 80s.
Pretty much the whole province, which would be basically that's our entire west coast, right? That whole province has been sold off to China.
Right. Well,
Lock, stock, and barrel.
Well, talking about being sold off and stuff, the biggest thing in the States right now that everybody's watching globally, which I'm surprised Robert hasn't mentioned this one yet, is we have our debt ceiling, right? They're trying to figure out if they're going to raise it or whatever. They came to a stalemate today. Here's one of the biggest problems with that. The two countries that hold the largest amount of American debt as far as who we owe or have to pay bills to is fucking England and Canada. So if our budget and debt ceiling doesn't get raised, we default on bills that we owe those two countries, which is dramatically going to affect global markets.
Well, yeah, man. If that happens, I want North Dakota and South Dakota.
Yeah,
so.
exactly, right? Yeah.
I'm
So
taking it. I'm fucking
it's like-
taking it.
It's like fucking crazy, man.
Go on, North Dakota.
Yeah. Me,
but
me,
it's not
me,
real money, is it? It's not
me,
real
me and
money.
me and Influence, we're just gonna show up and take South Dakota and North Dakota.
We're moving.
It's all make believe. It's what did they say in that at Wolf on Wall Street? It's Fugazi.
Yes, exactly, Fugazi.
There's no
Fugazi,
fucking
Fugazi.
money. It's Fugazi.
It's fucking fairy dust, is what it is.
Yeah, Fugazi. There's no there. Not since 1971. Since Nixon. What happened in Britain was the pound was the global reserve currency. Right? And in 1931, after the First World War, the British were bankrupt. So they took the pound off the gold. Because it says on our notes, it still says on our notes, I promised to pay the bearer on demand the sum of £20, signed by the cashier of the Bank of England. But if you go to the fucking Bank of England and say, I want fucking £20, right? I want me £20 of gold, which is 20 gold sovereigns, which is worth about, I don't know, 10 grand today. 20 grand.
Yeah. Go cash that in, see how far you get with that.
Yeah, because you can't since 1931. So after the Second World War, they came up with the Bretton Woods Agreement, which America had set the gold standard. It was $35 for 1 ounce of gold. Yeah,
and we've gone away from it.
And that was after the Second World War. And then anybody, so the dollar became the world reserve currency. So everything got. If any international trade were done in dollars.
No gold standard anymore. We sold our gold off, and we have
right in 1971. Nixon, President Nixon, in 1971 said we're not going to settle your dollars for gold from America for American gold, because the French went and said we want all our gold back, so they had to give the French their gold back,
and that was a mistake
for their dollars, right? So they give the French their gold for the dollars, and then Nixon said, no, we're not doing that anymore. We'll give you oil instead. We'll give you oil instead. That was where you got the saying the petrodollar.
Oh,
right. So you could change your dollars for oil.
No.
And after that, the old system is what's called fiat. It's Fugazi. There's no money. So everybody can. Before you had to have the gold to make the money.
Now
you go back to the money.
Is the debt real?
Collateral.
Right. So the gold was the real money, and the notes were notes promising to pay you gold.
The cash itself was only a promissory note. It wasn't the actual.
Yeah, it was a promissory note for the gold.
Exactly. Exactly. You couldn't walk around with
fucking on that fire. Sorry, guys.
So now the system is it's not backed by anything. There's nothing there. It's Fugazi.
Yeah. Well,
so
just wait.
So you can print. You can do what do they call it? Quantitative easing. We'll just print another fucking $1 trillion into the system, or type them up on a fucking computer.
Robert, that won't make any difference, because I'm telling you right now, within the next 10 years, you won't have paper currency.
No, they're already trying to. Yeah, they're already trying.
Digital.
Yeah, type it up on a computer. Most of it's digital now, anyway. I think about what is it? 10% of all currency is actual notes and coins. Rest of it's in a computer.
Right. Now,
that's the fact now.
Doesn't that bother you or scare you? Like anybody sitting here listening to this, okay, all of the currency, whether it be Canadian currency, US currency, British fucking pounds, doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
If it's on a digital scale, at some level, some way, some shape or form, it can be hacked.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
At least if I've got gold or I've got a paper note in my hand, it can't be hacked. But now they want to transfer everything. I mean, everything. 100%. We're going to be on a world scale digital currency.
Silver.
Are you out of your fucking minds?
Yeah, but
not only can it be hacked,
digital
right now.
It's not going to be just digital. It's going to be crypto, and cryptocurrency can be programmed.
Exactly.
So they can track it.
There's way too many ways that this can go wrong. They go, oh well, we can make sure that it's 100% secure. No, you can't.
The blocking Bitcoin.
Because if the currency can be created, it can be hacked. Anything that can be created digitally can be hacked. There's always going to be
You can't hack the blockchain.
Yeah, your information will always be sold and hacked. And
You can't hack the blockchain, but
So
the
what's
blockchain
next?
is
What are you saying? That 25 years from now, we're going to be fucking trading cucumbers and carrots out in the fucking street for
yeah.
currency?
Yes,
Yeah.
That's what we're going to be.
that's the only way around the digital currency.
grow these amazing
You can't hack the
you have these amazing
blockchain.
tomatoes. I will trade
Dude,
you.
we're going to be on a within 25 years. We're going to be on a barter system because
A blockchain is a series of a
Well, I'd be,
blockchain.
you know what?
What the
I'd be
blockchain
okay.
does, it
Sure,
actually,
barter
the
system.
blockchain actually
always been a barter.
registers every transaction.
I'd be okay going back to a barter system. Honestly, I really would.
I think I would do quite well, actually.
I've always
Yeah.
done the barter system, man. Myself.
Yeah.
And the blockchain can't be hacked. You
But
can't hack the
New to me, I
Bitcoin
would-
blockchain and nick all the Bitcoin off it.
I agree.
But it's traceable. Every single
Well, that's what I was going to say. For me,
transaction is
the biggest-
traceable on it. Because
biggest
that's how it
concern-
works. Or it
Right.
wouldn't work.
well, and
No,
that's
but
what I'm saying. For me,
You're an
that's the biggest
electrician. You're an
concern.
electrician. You come do my electrical. I need some lights put in, and I'll go paint your fucking kitchen. You know.
There you go. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. For me, if it all goes digital, which it will, that's the biggest thing is they can track every fucking thing that I'm doing at that point.
Yeah.
They can already do that now, Spectre.
Well, if you got cash, they can't.
No, they
Well,
can't. We can't.
Right, but okay, but that's absolutely true. But Spectre, let's just think about since you woke up this morning, how many times have you debited something today?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm not just
Right?
yeah, exactly. That's
How
what I'm
many
saying.
times
It's all
did you
going to
reach
go
into your
digital.
pocket? How many times did you reach into your pocket and pull out cash? I didn't
None,
pull out
none,
cash once
none.
today.
Yeah, not once. Yeah, I'm guilty
Right.
of it too. That's what I'm saying. I'm guilty of it.
The
But,
government
yeah.
or anybody else can track everything and everywhere I've been. I went through fucking 9 states. I went through 9 states, three
because you're a truck driver,
provinces,
man.
and they knew exactly where I was most of the time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I got a smart.
That's why my
debit
buddy
card.
doesn't use his. A friend of mine has a status card. He can get cheap gas if he wants to and not pay tax. He's legit native, but he doesn't use it because he's paranoid of the government fucking tracking him everywhere.
I don't doubt that.
He does, and then he knows because they do. They will track your every fucking whereabouts.
Well, they're already doing it. They're already doing it. It's not they're going to. They're already fucking doing
They
it.
have and they do. I had
Like-
CSIS at my house, man. Did I tell you that?
You had what?
I think I might have said in the chat. I had CSIS here at my house because of that fucking flag behind me. That Agalon flag.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
what
So
were they doing?
CSIS Yeah, well, CSIS came by. They were here for a couple hours. We sat and had about 5-6 beers. That was interesting.
I bet. Sorry, Bill, you were saying something with it. What were you saying?
Oh, this is a good life hack. If you use your debit card when you're out and about trucking, have your bank app that's associated with it on your phone, and then just port over the money from one account to the other. You know, you open a separate account, port over money from one account to the other as you're using the debit card. So, and maybe a little extra for some, cushion, like an extra 100 or something. But always only ever have just what you spent and then maybe an extra 100 on there. That way, if your card ever gets hacked, you don't have any money in that account anyway. So the most you can get, on the hook for is $100. Because the government in America, the government doesn't protect the debit cards like the credit cards. The credit cards they don't hack as much because there's a lot more. They can get in a lot more trouble.
Well, yeah. Well, I think the credit cards aren't right. Well, they're regulated by government, but they're not backed by government. When you're dealing with a debit card, that's a bank. Banks are backed by government, so the currency is watched.
You can't get out of it, man. If they debank you, if you get debanked, where are you gonna go? Where?
You're
what are you
fucked.
gonna do?
You're fucked.
You're fucked.
It's called Monero. right? It's called Monero. It's a cryptocurrency, Monero, and it's a private. It's called a privacy coin because it
How do you get to
can't
it?
be
How do you
tracked.
access it? How do you go? Where's the vending machine?
Right, the U.S. government has offered an $160,000 reward for anybody that can break their firewall.
Yeah, it'll happen. It'll
Yeah,
happen.
$160,000 if you can break Monero's firewall.
These assholes can fucking debank you, man, and fucking when they debank you, and it's gonna happen. It might happen to me too tomorrow. I don't fucking know.
Dude, look what they did. Look what they did. Look what they did to us at the convoy. Right? They actually
And they're
they
doing
passed,
it.
they
And
passed
they're
that
doing it.
law and they
They're doing
froze our fucking bank accounts.
Yeah, I heard about that shit. Was that a real thing?
Fucking right it was, Spectre. They froze
I heard about that shit on the news. I was like, no way.
They didn't get mined, right? They didn't get mined, but they froze. They not only freeze your bank account, but like they freeze your entire portfolio. So let's just say you've got like your retirement. So let's just say in your 401k you've got $3 million and da 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 da. You've got RSPs and T bills and GICs and da da da. They freeze it all. Done. You're not making mortgage payments. You're not making car fucking payments. You're not making nothing. And that's how they get you. Right. So next thing you know, all of your assets are frozen solid, but you still need to pay your fucking bills.
Yep.
So now you're defaulting on your mortgage.
Now you're dipping in your savings, and
You don't know. You don't have savings. They're frozen.
Now you're selling shit.
Everything you've got is frozen, cock stiff, fucking solid. There was people up here that were just losing left, right, and center, and people were trying to raise money for these people to keep them going until their fucking assets could be unfrozen.
All right, yeah.
And this is our government. This is our government, right? This isn't like we're not being invaded by another country. This is our fucking government doing this to us.
From within, yes, man.
Well, who's got it's time. Who's got the damn chickens? I'll start fucking growing cucumbers and watermelons or some shit, and we'll trade.
Oh, fucking T-Bone has the chickens.
Well, we'll figure it out. And that's why I say I'd be okay going back to a barter system. We could work it out. Fuck
well, you know what? Here, the only problem with all of that, I got no problem going back to the barter system. I got no problem, but unfortunately, in order to make something like that work, you need land. Well, guess what? You're only going to have land if the government says you're going to have land.
And that is why okay, so we're talking about all this stuff, right? That's happening in both countries, and that's why I say, at what point do the people finally have enough of that shit, and they say, nope, we're taking it back? That's why I say we're due. We're due.
Yeah, I think you're right.
However, if there was ever a time, like Jefferson said, taking over Canada would be a mere matter of marching. If there was ever a time that there'd be a mere matter of marching, fucking US could take over Canada like in a fucking overnight.
Yeah, but
right now. They could easily, like tomorrow.
Yeah, but influence, I've said it before. They wouldn't have to. Fuck, we'd give it to them. Right now, with the state of our country in Canada, I'd happily become a fucking American. I'd happily divide Canada up into fucking 12 more states and just roll out and become a fucking make Canada all one country. I'd be happy to fucking do it right now. That's how bad my
we still have some kind of semblance of fucking.
Oh,
still be an illusion of
you know what we have? We've got unlimited oil and gas right now. That is all, and lumber. Right? We have lumber, oil, and gas, which the U.S. desperately buys from us, and they need from us.
Why isn't the world paying us? Why isn't the world paying us for fucking us producing?
Because we sell our oil and gas to third world countries for more than we can fucking pay for it from the Saudis.
We have all the trees, and everybody's fucking.
Make the fucking difference.
Well, that's no different than the United States. I'm telling you, look, our administration right now are a bunch of bumbling fucking idiots. Like they won't let people renew the permitting for fracking and all that shit on federal lands and all this other stuff, right? So we decide, we're going to sell our oil, like we sold it really, really cheap, but then we turn around and buy it for 4 times as much from like Venezuela. I mean, we're being run by bunch of bumbling fucking idiots. That's exactly what our country's doing. Canada
Right.
sounds like Canada's doing the same fucking thing.
Well, they're
I'm like,
bilking you $1 billion at a time, and you guys don't
Yeah.
even know what's happening. That's the problem.
I'm
So
like,
are
are
we.
you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
damn.
It started out, Canada started out like years ago going, okay, we've got a huge reserve of oil and gas. We can't use it. And so everybody was going, why are we not producing? Why are we not producing and using our own oil and gas? We have enough that we could easily supply all of our own needs and never have to worry about oil and gas again. Never have to worry about the reserve. Never have to worry about fucking money about that. And why are we not doing this? Well, they even invented Petro-Canada is a gas station up here, but originally back in, I think it was in the 80s, when it was owned by the fucking government. Okay, and it was a government gas station that was supposed to be set up, and it was going to be cheaper. It was for the people, and blah blah blah. It never happened. They sold it to
Pierre Elliott Trudeau ripping off Canada.
Yeah, they sold it to fucking a private fucking company, and now Petro-Canada is a fucking, it's a conglomerate.
Right.
But what I'm saying here is the oil and gas that we pull out of our ground. Remember, like I said, Spectre, there's only 34 million of us here, for fuck's sakes. There's not a lot of people here when you think about it. We pull enough oil and gas out of and we sell it. We sell it to you, like the U.S. You're one of our biggest. We sell it to third world countries, and we sell it for more than we import it from the Saudis for. So we buy it from the Saudis for less than we sell it to you. And the Americans are buying our expensive oil. Why? Why the
Dude,
fuck?
I don't fucking know.
You're
well,
buying
like I said,
Venezuela. Why are you buying expensive oil from Venezuela? Why are you buying expensive oil from Canada? We're
I have no
killing-
Well, dude, that's no different than I mean, I have no answer for it because I ask the same fucking questions, and then here, let me throw another one in for that, right? As far as the stupid shit our administration does, it was in the news. They didn't make it was amazing they didn't make a big deal out of it, but a couple weeks back, the U.S. military fucking redirected and took control of an Iranian fucking oil tanker. So what do? We had a tanker coming across as well from, I think it was China or somewhere. The Iranians fucking took control of our shit, and we're like, I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Are we really?
Yeah.
I mean, this is really stupid. The world is getting really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's kind of like junior high school, right?
Now the problem that's going to happen is, okay, the Iranians took over that, then the Americans took over. Eventually, somebody's going to light off a missile, and there's going to be a problem.
No, it's going to be. Well, that's always a false flag, man. Every fucking time.
That's what I'm saying. It's like this whole. That's how like. As the people, as the citizens, sooner or later, the citizens are going to get really stupid, really tired of the decisions that are being made because we're the ones suffering in the end, and we're due because we're sitting here in two countries, right? Two countries, north and south of each other, literally of the stupid shit that is going on that has a huge effect on each individual citizen at a time. And it's like, what the fuck are we doing? Really? I mean,
no, you're
come
right.
on.
I agree with most of what you guys are saying.
What's that?
I agree with most of what y'all are saying, or if not all of it. But I figure I can't do anything about it, so I don't dwell on it. I don't watch the news.
Yeah. That's,
you know what?
Let's talk about cars and boobies.
Yeah, I like cars and boobies as much as the next guy, but
right,
10 years from now, I want to still be looking at cars and boobies. And if we don't start fucking thinking and changing things now, we're going to be looking at dicks and assholes.
Right.
Well, hold on, wait a minute. Now, I'm going to say this, and then I'll leave this out. I'm not going to go any further into it. Y'all can read between the lines. like you said, everybody likes looking at cars and boobies, and you talking about looking at dicks and assholes. But the way the world's going now, we're gonna have to start looking for fucking Adam's apples and damn leg hairs. That's all I'm gonna say. All right? And I'm gonna leave it right the fuck there, okay? And because I could really hurt some feelings with that discussion.
You look at Dave?
That statement of looking for boobs and tits and asses, and that don't work no more. It just
Adam's
don't.
apples and hairy legs.
Yep.
Hi there. How are you?
Right. Just saying.
Hey,
I
man.
thought she was cute.
You know, yeah, she didn't look like no. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's one of those. Yeah, you know what? That's not a road I want to walk down tonight.
I'm not gonna go. That's why I said I'm gonna leave it right
Yeah.
there. I'm gonna put it
I
right
hear
there on
ya.
the shelf, and I'll leave it up there. That's it.
Come here often,
Appreciate
big
that.
boy. What's your sign?
Yeah.
Exactly, Bill. Fuck. Holy fuck.
Fucking hey.
Yeah.
Our world is fucked. I'm just gonna say I do. I feel sorry for my grandchildren because I do. I am one of the biggest patriots of in this that you would ever meet. But I never ever thought I'd say it, but it is. This world is fucked. It
Yeah.
is really going down a fucked route.
I'm truly glad to say, and this is horrible to say because the next generation coming after me, it's not good for them. But I can truly say that when the world finally eventually does go completely sideways, chances are I'll be dead already. I'm 53. I'm 53. I don't imagine I'm going to make it 20 more years, or even whatever. But by the time the world finally goes completely batshit squirrely and sideways, I'll probably be dead. So my kids and my grandkids, like you were saying, probably grandkids more than even kids, they're the ones that are going to pay the fucking price for this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got at least 30 good
I want to
years
do
left in
better
you.
than what my grandparents did. Like my grandfather fucking was spot on everything, man. What's going on now?
Yeah.
He was fucking spot on.
Yeah.
He said, because you know what he said? Oh, your social security number. Oh, that's fucking communism. We're going down the road of communism. And he fucking called it.
Oh, fascists.
He fucking called it.
Yeah.
You're his husband on me, man.
We always want to say that we just want to leave the world in a better place than we found it for our kids. That's not the case here. We're not doing that. We're leaving our kids in a fucking mess.
I'm
you know,
trying, man.
the baby boomers were my parents. Like I don't know.
I'm a baby boomer.
Same with me. Yeah. Same
Right.
with me.
Not less
No,
than
you're not a
baby
baby
boomers.
I'm
Robert, you're
48.
not a baby boomer.
I'm
The
48.
baby boomers being my parents were the only
64
generation.
less than boomers.
Hold on, listen to me. But the baby boomers, which are my parents' generation, were the only generation that had it better than their parents and had it better than their kids.
Yeah, they got shit
So
inside.
think about that for a minute, okay?
Yeah,
They were the
shit
only
inside.
generation that had it better than their parents and had it better than their kids.
But
Every other generation after that has always fallen in line. Whereas my kids, my parents, I had it better than my parents. My kids have had it better than me. So forth down the line. It's never been one generation has had both, where the boomers did.
Well, let's go back. You said the baby boomers, right? What was the main catalyst for the baby
World War
boomer
II.
generation? World War II, right? Now, what did they call the generation that was in World War II? They called them the greatest generation.
The greatest. Okay, yeah, okay,
Yeah, that's why.
yeah.
You had a group, a world. I'm not just going to say Americans because there was a lot of different countries. A world that was actually fighting for their rights and for something. Now people just don't fight for shit. They'll believe any fucking thing and they fall for everything.
Right.
They don't stand for shit. Like I could go back to the very basis of, I don't care what your faith is, but I'm just going to throw it out here. The very basis of Christianity, the very basis of the nuclear fucking family's been ripped apart. Nobody believes in shit and they fall for everything.
No,
Right.
there's deliberate attacks on the family, and
Yeah.
that's obvious, right? That's in the school system.
Yeah.
That's the Marxist nonsense in the school system. It's
I mean, I don't, like I said,
no,
they
you
just
send your
don't.
kids to school and you trust your
Bad
kids
influence.
to
Just
look after your
look
kids.
at what's
They're
happening in
being
the
indoctrinated,
school.
man. So homeschool your kids if you can. For
Look what's happened in the school system. I don't know, especially in Canada. I can't say so much for the States because I just don't know. But in Canada, in the last 10 years, like my kids are age 31 down to, I got 5 of them from 31 down to 21. So I've watched, let's just say over the last 30 years, my kids go from grade kindergarten all the way through school. I can tell you, but by the time the last 3 kids, the 3 younger kids, they started to get into middle school and started, working their way through middle school, grade 6, 7, 8, then they went into high school. Nothing. The things that were changed, the attacks that were going on the education system from our government of basically dumbing it down. They were dumbing it down so our kids didn't have to fucking learn. Our kids didn't have to think. Our kids were no longer needing to be self-aware or self-conscious. Why? Because now they have one of these to do it for them. These things here will tell them what to think. We'll tell them what to say. If they can't spell a fucking word, this thing will spell it for them.
Well, and see, no, you're absolutely right. It's the same way here in the States. Like a couple years ago, it really got bad. It took off, I'd say within the last 3 to 4 years. They did this whole standardized testing thing, right? And what they started doing was, like, I noticed it with my son towards the end of his high school days, and then of course my daughter now. They'll say, "Oh, we're going to start preparing for the state exams or the tests at the end of the year." And I'm like, "Wait a minute. Why are you not just teaching and let them take the test?" No, they're doing exactly what you're saying. They're teaching them to pass the fucking test.
Right.
But yet these kids get out of school and you can't even ask these kids today or this generation, "Hey, count me back the change from a fucking $20 bill where I just spent, $15.75 of it." They can't do it.
No,
they can't retain shit. They're teaching. It's even like that in college. They're teaching them to pass tests. They're not teaching them to learn. They're not teaching them to fucking critically think. Yeah. That's why then all of a sudden they get out in the real world and they're like, "Oh, my feelings are hurt. I can't think my way through it. Oh, I'm depressed, or you are offending me." Fuck that shit. Think for your fucking self.
I used to get my teachers to do this. I used to get my teachers to do this. Right now, what we're doing right now, I get my teachers to go off. Like, I just hit a fucking nerve, and they just fucking rah.
You can't, if you're a critical thinker in today's world, you are fucking canceled, shunned, and probably fucking killed at some point.
Oh yeah, or prosecuted.
Check
Absolutely,
this out, guys. I read.
If you look in the chat, sorry, Bill, go ahead.
I read a book and it talked about the generations, and they found a letter from like 1,000 years ago, and in the letter they were complaining about the kids coming up and eerily similar as today is, where we're complaining about the next generation, where's the world going to. This 1,000-year-old letter was the same thing, and then they said these generations that they're kind of cyclical, and they named off 4 or 5 different types of generations, and then it comes back full circle to where the greatest generation maybe come after the current one now. So seems like it just is a cycle that has always happened.
Who was saying that? Oh, it was Trev Lee saying that the other night about how it was kind of a spiritual thing in a way, but it's like we are our ancestors. Right?
Yes.
It was kind of deep, but he went on about it last night. So it's like, we are our ancestors, right? We are our great grandfathers. We are them.
Look in the comments right now. What's going on between Mr. B's and Houdini? And I'm agreeing. I'm not saying there's anything wrong here. I'm agreeing with what's going on when they're talking about the generation that we're producing right now, right? And it goes along with what Spectre's saying is they're teaching you to pass a test. They're not teaching you what you need to apply. Mm-hmm. And this is what it is. If you go back to say when I was a kid. And I think Spectre, I'm a little older than you, but still, it probably still applies. We used to drink from a water hose. Nowadays, you would never see a mother would go. I've seen a mother on the 2 houses down at the other end of my fucking road there. She was running faster than a fucking Olympic sprinter trying to grab that hose out of that little girl's mouth, drinking from a fucking hose.
Dude, I still drink from a hose. What are you talking
about? Why, dude? My fucking
traumatized the kid. It's like,
you know what? Hey,
like
We played at parks that were made of fucking solid steel with no padding. We rode our bikes and skateboards with no fucking helmets. When there was a problem on the schoolyard, or there was a problem in fucking life, you took it out behind the barn, you knocked the shit out of each other, and when you were done, you fucking got back up and you everything.
And you wanted after, and we were friends afterwards, right?
Yeah, and you want to know and to me, with everything you just said there, I agree with you. And here's the most important thing as far as I go. This is my opinion. The most important thing, and one of the biggest problems today, with everything right there you talked about, the way we handle things on the schoolyard, the way we handle things just in life growing up in general, you learned to take a fucking L. You learned to take a fucking L.
Thank you. Fucking thank you. Absolutely. You learn to take an L. Not everybody got a fucking trophy. Not everybody got a fucking trophy. Thank God. Yeah.
Failure is our greatest teacher.
Exactly. I learned more from my losses than I ever did getting a fucking trophy, winning every single fucking time. Do you know that?
I've had lots of losses.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. I learned more from my losses. You back in the day, you took an L.
They heard
you took a loss. Not everybody won.
Bzz, ow, bzz, ow, bzz, ow.
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You learned to take a fucking L. You wankers.
I had two older brothers.
Now
that took a lot of L's.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's even today. Look at people today, man. Like, I'll just use this industry. We'll use the industry, right? It's one of the biggest problems in our sector in YouTube. Everybody's got to be equal. If somebody's making a higher rate, everybody bitches and complains or attacks that individual. It's just the way it is. Not everybody's fucking equal. You have to learn to take an L. It's life. It's life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you take your L, you get up, you brush yourself off, and you fucking go at it again. And you go at it again.
And you learn. Yeah. You just keep going and keep going and keep going.
Exactly. Yeah. What's the saying? You adapt, you learn, you adapt, you improvise, you move on.
Yep.
Right? That's called fucking life. I don't care any which way you look at it. Right?
And be on time. And be on time. I can't fucking stress that enough, to be on fucking time. You can get a job anywhere, man. If you just fucking show up, for fuck's sake. Jesus fucking Christ.
This is one of those areas that, I could sit here and just tear the next generation coming through. I could tear them a new ass, and I could tear them to pieces, and I could tear them all night fucking long. But that's also not fair. No, that's not necessarily their fault. All of it. It's not. Some of it is. It has to fall back on us. It has to fall back on the responsibility of we fucking raised them this way. We raised them soft. We fucking I'm not saying me personally with my kids, but the generation now that's soft, that's scared, that doesn't want to go out and nobody wants to go outside and play at the park. You don't see kids at the fucking park playing. Why? Because they're sitting there playing on one of these, fucking all of that is gone now. But whose fault is that? That's not the kids so much the kids' fault. That's some of that responsibility falls on us. I'm responsible for some of the shortcomings of my children.
Well, okay, and you're right, but I'm gonna go a little bit deeper than that. It is fucking, and you're right. You're absolutely right. As men and as women, fathers and mothers, we are responsible. But at the end of the day, as mothers and fathers, and just as general citizens and humans on this fucking planet, we are allowing our governments to incentivize being fucking single parents or not being parents at all.
Yes.
It's fucking incentivized. Yes. Literally, the government will pay you very good living to not be fucking married, to be single.
And the court system isn't exactly very
agreeable.
Right.
Word's
And
bad.
the thing is we just
There's
allow
not
it.
much incentive for a guy to go get a girl pregnant because he doesn't want to fucking be.
There's not
banged
much.
with kids
As,
that,
look,
you know, made
I hate
everything
look.
is.
There's a lot of his stuff I don't agree with. There's two men that I've listened to over the last 2 years, and a lot of the stuff I do not agree with, but a lot of the stuff I do. There is no incentive nowadays for a man or a woman to get married. Period.
Jesus, get on the ground. No.
There just isn't. That's not just for men. That's for women too. It just
No,
isn't.
I know.
And we might be making blanket statements about this next generation, but there are some in there that are great hard workers and very well adjusted, well rounded. You know, there are quite a few of them, but the majority, you know, maybe the majority of them are soft. I don't know.
You know what? You are 100% correct. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
But whereas say the generation before, you'd have, and I don't know, I'm just I'm making these numbers up, but let's just say 80% were of the kids or the generation were fighting for it. They were working, they were fighting, they were applying themselves. And then the 20% were the fucking, oh, I don't want to, they were scared, they didn't. Nowadays it's flipped. So what you're talking about is, you know, those some are now the majority now, whereas we used to be the majority. We're not now. And now we're the 20%. The coddled and the protected, and those are now the 80% of the fucking population of the generation. And that's sad because eventually they are going to plateau and take their place in the natural pecking order of life. And I hate to tell you this, but they are fucked. They are truly fucked.
Hey, Brian, can you bring a comment up right there by Student Farmer? And I want to address it like with a little bit of a greater meaning to what he's saying about that one there. Yeah. Now, while you are correct in today's world, that's exactly what they're doing. But let me tell you what it's creating, okay? Sometimes you just got to let kids fight. Sometimes you got to let it happen, and then you pick them up and you address it. Because here's the problem. In today's world, what I'm seeing in a lot of young people is none of them know how to have any kind of conflict resolution. They just don't. They have no idea how to fucking problem solve. They have no idea how to sit down and have a discussion or a debate. It's all this yelling, my feelings, my this, my that, this, and there's nothing that ever gets fucking solved. So that's why I say, and probably most of us on this panel say, back in the old days when it got to that point, you just fucking duked it out. Then you picked yourselves up, you shook hands, went and had if you were a kid, you went and had a RC Cola and a fucking moon pie. If you're an adult, you went and had a beer, and then everything's okay.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
That's what it gets back to. It's things like, for me, the older I've gotten,
now everybody
the
wants
more
to be a victim.
Right.
Everybody
the more I
wants to be a
realize
victim. You've hurt my feelings. I'm so offended. I'm a victim.
Think about this.
Exactly.
Right along those same lines, Spectre, and Student Farmer as well. My parents, like we lived. I was fortunate when I was younger. We grew up in suburbia, right? So it was a nice neighborhood. Always had nice fucking whatever like that. But there was always neighborhood scuffles. And if you dared open your mouth and got into a fight and you ran home, I saw my fucking father do this to my brother several times.
My brother would be worse.
My brother would chirp off, and he's still, right to this day, my brother's still notorious for chirping off, right? But he can't back up the chirping, right? So he'd chirp off, and fucking Mike Henry would chase my brother up the fucking street. My brother would go tearing in the fucking house, and my dad would be going, "What the fuck's going on here?" Well, this and this. My dad would grab my brother by the fucking shirt, open the fucking door, and out the fucking door. There you go, son. Work it out. You know what? My brother didn't come out any fucking worse for wear. That kind of shit happened back then, and it was applied, and I hate to say it, it's not like it worked, but it mans you up.
Yeah, it teaches you to take responsibility for your chirping off or whatever else. You have to take responsibility for it. And if that means duking it out, you're going to have to do that as well.
You
take the responsibility. Scenario. Don't fucking hide behind your dad's fucking trousers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
that exact scenario happened to me when I was a young man. That happened to me, right? Kid was bigger than me, right? Kid was bigger than me. I started it. I started that shit, right? I did. I fucking took off running. My dad said this is where I learned that lesson. You don't start the shit, but if it's started, you fucking finish it. Well, unfortunately, I started it, and he did. He threw my ass back out the door, stood right there on the fucking porch, and he watched it get finished. I took a L that day. I learned a valuable lesson. You learn to work that shit out.
My dad, very much the same. My dad was a cop, right? So he was, you open your mouth, if you can't back it up, you're gonna take your lumps, kid.
Yeah.
And we did as kids, we did as boys in that house. The same as like there was my family is big, right? There's a lot of us cousins. I think total there's 14 cousins out of all the sisters. I'm the second oldest cousin, but I'm the second smallest, believe it or not. I'm 6'2", 225, and I'm the second smallest out of all of us. Okay. So when we'd be out on the farm or we'd be out wherever the fuck we were and we'd start scrapping with each other, my parents, nobody came running out going, "Oh, stop that, Brian, get off of him," or "Mike, get off of there, Stevie, leave him alone." No, you let the boys work it out. They're boys of the boys. And that same thing went with the girls. If any of the cousins, like there was a couple of the girls were cousins, those back in those days, the girls, if they got stupid and they swung at one of the boys, I'm not saying she got pummeled, but she got put in her fucking place. You wouldn't even think about doing that today, right? But nobody would dare hit one of the girls. But what I am saying is that I wouldn't hit a woman, but I would remove her from my bodily space. How's that, right? I would physically move.
Get out of my hula hoop. Don't.
But that's the way our parents were.
Today for me, I think that's also a problem as far as like women and the feminist movement stuff. Is that my mom taught me don't hit a woman, right? I was raised that way. You don't touch a woman, except if a woman hauls off and hits a fucking man, all bets are off. You treat her like a fucking man. That's exactly how the women in my family raise the boys. And it was, I'm telling you, and I see that as a problem today because one, you're starting to see it is that there are too many women who do, whether it's hit or try to emasculate or demasculate a man, but as soon as that fucking man fires back, soon as that man fires back, they realize, oh shit, and then it's the victim card. So I'm just telling you.
Let me tell you, I've been a witness to watching a guy and his wife, and they start arguing, and they're standing on a fucking street corner, right? This is like right in front of them, and they're just having a bitter argument and everything like that. And then he being a man, he's going to say the wrong fucking thing eventually, right? And she hold off, and she fucking cold cocked him right in the face. Yeah, and he didn't do nothing. He didn't get his hands up in time to make the block, and she fucking hammered him, and he didn't do a goddamn thing. And me, in the back of my head, I'm going, "Oh, lady, you are lucky to be breathing. You are lucky to be breathing." Well, and he didn't do a goddamn thing. Good on him, because he could have wiped the fucking floor with her if he really wanted to. But it's like, right,
exactly.
I get into a fight with 5 guys one night, man. Just up the road from me, and it's like fucking playing pinball with these fucking idiots because none of them can fight. So I hit one guy and he backed the fuck off. Another guy come towards me and I punched him and he backed the fuck off. It was fucking weird. It was the weirdest fight I've ever been in, but it doesn't matter. And the only person behind me was my wife, and my wife grabbed me by the shirt and she fucking pulled me backwards. And these little fucking cowards all started fucking rushing towards me.
Yeah.
And I fucking turned around, and that's the only time I ever laid a hand on my woman, man. I turned around and I slapped her or something. I didn't hit you? Okay, well I yelled at you. But anyways, didn't matter. She almost got me killed, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah.
Well, me and my wife have had this discussion, which my wife, she's like a little stick of dynamite, but she understands. I tell her, you don't get involved in man shit. If there's a disagreement between me and another man or other men, you get the fuck out of the way. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
and that is a problem. You got, and I blame the feminist movement that women can do that. No, you can't. You just can't.
Yeah. Here, Spectre,
Hey,
there's
Brian.
your comment for you. There's your comment for you.
What's that?
Look at the comment I just put up there from Mr. B's. There you go. That one's for you.
Oh, let me see. Let me see here. Well, I can't read it, so.
It says, never hit a woman. What if the woman is really a dude? I'm no doctor.
I'm just, hey, I'm just saying. I'm not.
Just
That's what
saying.
I'm saying. 30 seconds for a fucking Adam's apple, and that's all she wrote, right?
Hello. How are you? Looking for a date, big
Yeah.
boy?
Throat punch.
No, it's fucking
Hey.
true.
Look, I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to get me to reach up there and try to take that comment up off the damn table up there. I'm telling you, I'm leaving that one up there. That's, I'm not going down that road tonight. Not going to do that.
What if they're
Yeah.
one of those gender fluid people? I'm sorry, I don't believe in that. So
It's not fair that these guys are taking over fucking women's stuff. Man. It's not fun.
I don't want. Please don't touch. Look, I'm gonna
No, but
ask.
if I
Please
had
don't.
a daughter and I drove my daughter to fucking hockey practice every fucking day or swimming practice every day, and she fucking got to a point where she's like top of the province, like she's the best in the province, and now she's gonna go national, like she's gonna compete. She's fucking good. And then fucking dude says, "Oh no, I'm a fucking girl." Get the fuck out of here, man.
Look, I'm just gonna say this, and then y'all can talk about it, and then I'm gonna put a button. Literally, I'm putting a button on my lips. I'll say this: in the Bible, in the Book of Revelations, and I'm paraphrasing. It's the evil legions of the devil will be known as they them. I'm leaving it at that.
That's in the Bible.
Hey, Brian, I went to a party
It is.
tonight.
Creeping me out. Jesus.
Book of Revelations, my friend.
Yeah, that's a spooky book.
I went to a retirement party for a family member with 30 years on the job, like your father.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of sad to see him go, but like, what are you going to do with all your free time now?
Well,
didn't have much to
depends
say,
on what
so.
some people call free time, right? my dad retired from the police department after 31 years. He lasted for 4 years. He lasted 4 years, and then he started going crazy. He had to go back to work because he was only 50. He was only 52 and a half years old when he retired.
Yeah,
He needed something to do, man.
He needed something to do. He was going after 4 years. He was going. You know what he did? He took a job at one of the Odessa auto auctions, jockeying cars around. It was paying him like $12 an hour, but he fucking loved it. He didn't need the money.
yeah,
Right.
it's something to keep you busy, right?
Just something, exactly, Bill. Just something to keep the brain and just something, get up in the morning, go to work, fuck whatever, and he didn't give a shit about the dough.
We're trained like that from babies. Basically, when you're 5 years old and you go to kindergarten, that's all you're being trained for is getting up, going to a building, sitting there for 8 hours, and coming home. And then same with your career, go somewhere.
Well,
for
you-
8.
Oh, did you
Think
see
about-
that? You ever see that documentary on the Whistling Smith? That BC cop that used to whistle and kick the shit out of people. I don't know.
No,
No, I haven't.
Whistling Smith.
no, I never saw that. Fuck.
Yeah. That's the old school cop. That's the old school cops. Those are the cops that we need now. Man. We don't have them anymore.
Well,
Right?
I can tell you right now, I've
They don't walk
experienced
with
a lot of old school cops and old way of thinking cops, and I've had my ass handed to me several times by cops, and
Me too.
Yeah,
man. I've been there.
I can't say I've had some I've had some rather not so proud moments having to deal with fucking law enforcement. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I think when we're younger, everybody, you get in trouble, and then you realize, I gotta stop acting like an idiot.
Well, some of us take a little longer to learn that, Bill, than some others. Most would like to say that, they got it figured out by the time they get into their early 20s. Unfortunately for me, it took me into my, I got clean and sober when I was 23, and I was still going to jail paying for it when I was 25. So it's like, fuck. Like, I couldn't win, right?
Yeah,
Right.
So,
I think we all been there,
yeah.
a little bit, tickets and whatnot.
Okay, you know what, guys? I hate to do this, but I was talking earlier, we got an incident kind of going on here, and I got to grab Don. We have to leave that he's here, so I got to shut this down.
All right,
Okay.
take care, guys.
So you guys, I'm really sorry. Thanks for coming in. But I do have to, I got to shut this down. I got to grab Dar, and we got to go. So
No,
later.
man. Thanks for having me.
Y'all have a good night,
Thanks,
man.
guys. Matt,
Later,
bye.